Happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday. Hello. Hi, guys. Hello. Happy Saturday. Yay, Saturdays. Yay, Saturdays. Okay. All right. Let me see who we have here. Let me see. You're a creep, Mayflower Kid. Let me see who we have here. Everyone ready for this? Let me see who we have here. Okay. All right. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. Hello, Gwen. Let's see who we got here. We got James Nordoff here very early. Hello, James Nordoff. I'm sorry you had to wait so long. I know I'm a few minutes late, just a little bit, just a smidge late. Whoopsie. Look how cute I am. You can't be mad at me. Anyway, hello, everyone. Doug is here. Hello, Doug. So glad you're here, Doug. Always glad you're here, Doug. Mayflower Kid. Hello, Mayflower Kid. Yes, guys, grease your path to joy by tapping the like button. Strong agree there. Strong agree. Matt Saigai, thank you so much for that contribution. Matt Saigai says, thank me, Samuel. And I just did, Doug. I'm not Doug. I'm sorry. Matt Saigai, I did just thank you. Okay. Thank you, Matt Saigai. Thank you for that contribution, really. All right. Hello, Void. Void Sonic Shuffle, also known as Diego. Hello, Diego. So glad you're here. Yeah, okay. Here's Mayflower Kid whining about things. All right. False advertising. Okay. Wham. That's all I hear from Mayflower Kid. Hello, a Pizza That Giant. Hello, Pizza That Giant. So glad you're here, Pizza That Giant. I would love some pizza right now. Speaking of that, that sounds amazing. I do have some crackers though, which is prime cuisine. Prime cuisine. Asmit is here. Asmit, it's been a while. So glad you're here. So glad you're back to being around here, Asmit. So glad. Okay. I have a very long memory, Asmit. So I remember you, Asmit. I remember. All right. Macon, hello, Macon. So glad you're here, Macon. So glad you're here, Macon. As always, Macon, an established member of the community now. Basically, everyone I've mentioned is an established member. Pizza That Giant's been around forever. Like most of you have been around forever. What am I saying? That's part of the problem is we need more people in here that haven't been around here forever. God damn it. I need to get more fresh blood in here. Okay. Anyway, you got a new job, Asmit? Yay! I hope it's going well for you. I do. All right. Okay. Sir Bartholomew. Hello, Sir Bart. I love you so much, Sir Bart. I'm sorry. I love you. Not that I'm in love with you. Yeah, we need fresh meat, Louise. Exactly. Man flesh, as they would say from Lord of the Rings. Okay. Yes, you thought her Hasbara. Oh, wait, what did you say, Matt Saigai? You said he's always been a liar. Not surprising he's part of Hasbara. Matt Saigai. I swear to God, Matt Saigai. I swear to God. Okay, anyway. Jesus Christ. Okay. Mayflower Kid. Yeah, no, it's not Bigfoot, Mayflower Kid. Gwen is here. Hello, Gwen. Gwen says, I'm here, but I have plans this evening, so I'll be leaving early. Unacceptable, Gwen. You're not allowed to have life. You're not allowed to have your own life, Gwen. Shame on you for leaving the stream. This is all that matters. Nothing else matters. Who cares about your personal life? All right? You're not allowed to have a real life. Okay? Shame on you. You know I'm joking, Gwen, please. Okay. Hope you have a good evening there, Gwen. All right, let's see here. Lurking Snow Leopard. Hello, Lurking Snow Leopard. So glad you're here, Lurking Snow Leopard. Another person who's now classic to the streams. Lurking Snow Leopard. I always imagine a snow leopard whenever I see you, and I love snow leopards. They're adorable, so thank you for that. It was a hot mic moment. Yeah, I forgot to turn off the mic when I went live, but oh well, at least I wasn't cursing at all of you like I normally do before I come on and making fun of you. At least you didn't hear that part this time. Louise is here. Hello, Louise. Hello, so glad you're here, Louise. Louise has been around since like the very beginning, practically. Dear God, Louise. Ugh, and I mean like the beginning of the channel, not the beginning of time, Louise, even though I'm sure it sometimes feels like it, but okay. Fetty's here. Fetty here. Oh, the classic Fetty. We all love Fetty Spaghetti here. Everyone loves Fetty Spaghetti. Fetty Spaghetti always making us drool with the food that Fetty Spaghetti posts. I love Fetty Spaghetti. All right. Body Swap is, I'm so glad Body Swap is here. Body Swap has been getting around recently, haven't you, Body Swap? You know, I won't say it aloud, Body Swap, but good for you, Body Swap. Good for you. And I'll let everyone decide what I'm talking about when I say that. That's mainly just for Body Swap to know what I mean. Okay. Hello, Grindcar. Hello, Grindcar. Forgive me, Grindcar. I can't read Cyrillic, but I appreciate you, Grindcar. Does it say Tavarish or something? I think that means like comrade in Russian. I don't really know. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. Okay, but very glad to see you here, Grindcar. As always, Grindcar, another very quickly becoming an established member of the community who just joined Discord, by the way. Very happy to have Grindcar over on Discord. Outer Signal, hello, Outer Signal. Goodwill and blessings to all on this fine Saturday. Totally agreed, Outer Signal. Goodwill and blessings to all. Absolutely. Okay. Hello, Outer Signal. Our great friend Outer Signal. Go out over and check out Outer Signal's channel on YouTube at Outer Signal. Okay, has a great YouTube channel, which does great videos. It's a growing channel. Help support Outer Signal. We support people in this community, folks. All right. Mayflower Kid, Trump started a GoFundMe for Iran so we can war. I'm sure he did. I wouldn't be surprised, Mayflower Kid. What, it'll probably end up paying for like what? One assault rifle because of how expensive military equipment is. But anyway, because of the defense contractors. Regardless. All right, Asmit, what's your new job, Asmit? I'm so glad to hear that. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm rambling aimlessly here. The Outer Signal, yeah, and Body Swap doing their cute little hello back and forth, which is like a new tradition. It's not hard to love me. I don't know, Sir Bartholomew. I don't know about that. Just kidding. Okay. You're how dare you, Matt Sci Guy. All right, as always, how dare you? Most of my YouTube peeps are trial watchers. That's amazing, Gwen. I love that. Okay. The feeling is, oh my God, all this love. What is this? There's too much love in this chat right now. Okay, come on, folks, come on. Be less human. How dare you? Okay, be less human. Get a slice of lemon pound cake by tapping the like button. Oh my God, Mayflower Kid. I would tap the like button then if you can send me some lemon pound cake. Did I miss anything? Okay, Grindcar. I'm not sure what it means. Got you. Okay, thank you, Grindcar. That's really cool. Good. I'm glad, Body Swap. All right. Thank you, Outer Signal, for the heart. All right, Asmit, soil and water conservation. I'll be Oh my God, that's amazing, Asmit. I would love that job. Asmit got a new job as a soil and water, doing soil and water conservation. I'll be educating landowners and hosting events. Oh, amazing, Asmit. I'm so proud of you. I don't know you. I'm sorry. You probably don't need me to be proud of you, but great job. Okay. Okay, Gwen says, yesterday was Ostara, the celebration of the spring equinox. That became Easter. You missed what I said. Oh, I'm sorry, Gwen. Oh, I got you. Okay, so that's a holiday you celebrate. Okay, I've never even heard of that. That's interesting. Ostara, maybe we'll take a look at that in a second here. I am curious about learning about things like this. I love different culture and stuff. Interesting. Okay, I'll take a look at that. Asma, I live right next to the Mississippi. Amazing, amazing. Okay. All right, you guys. So, we got stuff to talk about. I have like no plans. I have some things to kind of like generally talk about, but we're gonna just ad lib it. We're gonna have a relaxed stream. We're gonna talk about some stuff, some news items. You know, maybe I'll talk about some things you guys want me to talk about. Like normally I don't care what you say, but you know, maybe this time I will for once. Okay. We some news items to talk about. I have some things I want to investigate that I haven't actually read about much, like for example, if anyone's heard of the Afroman trial and shit. I don't know much about that. I wanted to look into it a bit. I know some about it, but I know that he won. But I wanted to maybe at some point quickly look into it, look into what it's all about, etc. We'll take a look at that. Is it Asmit? Okay, well then maybe we'll definitely take a look at it. I really want to eat this cracker, but I'm still eating. I'll just do what I normally do and do a mukbang. Okay. So we have a lot to talk about. And we're gonna talk about it. All right. So let's get into it, right? So some news items, guys. Some news items to talk about. You know, again, I haven't really done, like, look at this. Look how horrible this is today. I was like, screw it. It's Saturday. We're going to talk about some serious stuff, but we're going to be casual about it because it is casual revolt, isn't it? So some news items to cover. By the way, guys, you know what? Let's do it this way. If we get 5 super chats, well, if we get 10 super chats, we'll play a game. Okay. How should I do this? Should I do it this way? If we get like 1,000 bits overall, maybe we'll do an after dark stream today. Okay, how about that? How does that sound? We do an after dark stream. If we get to 3, how about this? Okay, if we get to 3 super chats or 3 contributions of 200 bits or $2, we will put on the jester collar, okay? If we what do you mean, what the F is wrong with me, Matt Saigai? Um, if we do, like, if we get to 5, we'll play a game, and if we get to 10, then we'll d okay, let's just start there for now. Let's just start if we get 3, we'll do the jester collar. If we get 5, if we get 7, we'll play a game. Okay. Okay, fine, Matt Saigai, fine. I can do more than that. If we get to, like, $30 overall, how about that, Matt Saigai? If we get to $30 overall, okay, you're right, Matt Saigai, I'll be meaner, I'll be meaner. Matt Saigai's always trying to get me to be meaner. Fine, I will gladly take that pressure. If we get to $30 or more, I'll do an after dark stream. How about that? Okay? Christ. All right, fair. All right. So, is that too much? Is that too little, Matt Saigai? Should I raise it up to 50? Okay. All right. Thank you, Matt Saigai, for pressuring me. Okay. Uh, okay. So let's go on here. So first story we have here is this. This is sort of a. This was posted on our Discord by this was posted. Dude, I can't help you. What do you mean, Matt? Okay, regardless. This was posted by our very own Doug on Discord. And you know what, guys? I forgot to read our daily Bible verse. You know what? I want to start a tradition of reading a daily Bible verse. So let's read a daily Bible verse first, shall we? Um, uh, Iron chariots. I have an idea. I already know what passage I want to read to all of you. Okay, for our daily. But Asmi, okay, just wait for it. Wait for it, Asmi. You know, I am not pro Bible, nor am I a Christian. Okay, so this is only to make fun of certain things. Iron Chariots Bible. All right, let me see if I can find the correct. Is it Judges 119? Okay, so for our daily Bible reading, Judges 119. You know, Mayflower Kid. You like it, Mayflower Kid. You like it. All right, so here we go. Let's read, guys. So this is a reading. You know, I'm going to pretend like I'm a Catholic priest. I know I'm deeply disrespectful. A reading from the book of Judges, chapter 1, verse 19. And the Lord was with Judah, and he drave out, as in drove, he drave out the inhabitants of the mountain, but he could not drive out the inhabitants of the valley, because they had chariots of iron. So apparently, the Lord is weak when it comes to iron chariots. The God cannot defeat iron chariots. To be clear, that's what this passage means, is that if you fight the God with iron, he cannot defeat you. So, blessed, praise be, praise be, amen. Okay, so he was trying to he was assisting a group of Israelites with a battle, but he couldn't actually he ended up not being able to defeat their enemies because they had chariots of iron. Oh, well, that's a shame. So guys, if you ever want to do battle with God, just make sure everything you're using is made of iron. Yeah, there you go. So just maybe it was blessed iron, maybe who knows, grind car, but kind of a fun little story there. You know, God has a weakness I want you all to know of. It's that he can't defeat chariots of iron. Now, in my opinion, I would guess that the reason that this was added was because the Israelites couldn't defeat chariots of iron, that they didn't really have the military capacity to build a superior military force with iron chariots. But then they had to justify why their God let them lose. So they're like, well, it was God that couldn't defeat the chariots of iron. You know, maybe it was kind of made up. Anyway, just there's your reading from the Holy Bible today. Okay. Yeah, lurking snow leopard. It might have been the valleys that were the problem. And maybe they're just not used to fighting in a valley, right? Maybe valleys are what can get in God's way. Mithril says cold iron is inimical to the Fae, therefore God is afraid. That's possible, Mithril. Maybe that's what it is. Okay. So anyway, just a side note there. A reading. Okay, wait. Let me do what a priest does, guys. a reading from Judges, and then you say, "Thanks be to God." Okay, look, I'm converting all of you. There we go. Done. Moving on. Now that we've had our our daily Bible passage, uh, let's go. Which I'm going to try and do more often because it's fun. All right, and because I'm an asshole. Let's go on to the this site. Now it's Saturday. We'll get into some more serious stories, but you know, hey, Mayflower Kid, maybe you're right. Okay. Oh, I know, Paul Squall. I know. Welcome, Paul. Paul Squall is here. Paul Squall, another classic member of the community. Paul Squall, you get a boop. Boop. You didn't really do anything, Paul Squall. I'm very arbitrary with my boops. So this is the Jehovah's Witnesses issued they're like worldwide leadership or whatever, issued a clarification on their belief in blood transfusions. So to be clear, guys, the Jehovah's Witnesses forever have there's a like I don't know, there's a segment of the Bible that says something like thou shalt not consume the blood or some crap like that. And so for a long time Jehovah's Witnesses have translated this into being that you can't eat the blood of animals and you cannot whatever, Sunday, not no, it's not. Yeah, did I say Sunday? It's Saturday. Whatever, Mayflower Kid. Screw you, Mayflower Kid. You mean whatever. Okay. So for a long time, they've told their followers they're not allowed to get blood transfusions in the case of a medical emergency because, according to the good book, as it's called, that would be against the rules of God. Now, the funny thing about this, guys, is that there are tons of other rules in that same book that they say are not necessary to follow, but for some reason they think that this one specifically is very important and like vital. You cannot get a blood transfusion. Like, of all the other things it says in there that they ignore, there's only like one thing in there that they're like, our followers have to believe in, and that is not getting blood transfusions. Now, Mayflower Kid being the doctor here, Mayflower Kid, I'm always going to use you for this reason. I'm just going to use you for your professional background. Now, Mayflower Kid, is it correct that it's important a lot of the time to get a blood transfusions for the sake of survival? Like, a blood transfusion is super important for staying alive in a lot of different circumstances. Am I right about that, Mayflower Kid? I'm not an expert. I think like that's a basic treatment for shit, Mayflower Kid. Okay, yeah, you're rolling your eyes. Good, excellent. I must be right. Because I get the impression, because what this has resulted in, folks, is that it's resulted in an estimated death of tens of thousands of Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay. Literally, like tens of thousands of Jehovah's Witnesses have died since the 1945 because they've not refused to get blood transfusions. Okay. Um, okay. Thank you, Gwen. See, Mayflower Kid, obviously not a real doctor because Mayflower Kid won't answer my question. Okay. Shame on you. Um, Okay. I know Mayflower Kid, right? Trust me. But I can pray the gay away, Mayflower Kid. Even if I can't blood transfuse the gay away, I can definitely pray it away, right? Unless I have chariots of iron, in which case I can probably defeat God. Anyway, so all right. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you. First Amendment, no, Gwen. I refuse to give. I'm gonna bully Mayflower Kid today for no reason. Okay. So they have done this for a long time. You're not allowed to get blood transfusions, which has resulted in the deaths of tens of thousands of their followers over time. And however, today, guys, look, they even had their followers carry around no blood transfusion cards in their wallets so that if if they got into an accident, they would be known not, the medical providers would know not to give them a blood transfusion. And so here we go. Now they've changed their mind. On Friday, the governing body member Garrett Loesch announced that it's now perfectly fine to store your own blood for future transmission. He even cited the very same article that doubled down on the blood transfusion ban, reminding people that it also said a Christian must decide for himself how his own blood will be handled in the course of a surgical procedure, medical test, or current therapy. So, after all this time, they just out of nowhere have randomly decided, you know what, oopsie, you can get blood transfusions now. Yeah, we know tens of thousands have died because of our refusal to let them do that shit. But hey, now it's fine, no problem. It kind of feels to me, guys, like a lot of these folks are just kind of making it up as they go. I don't know about you. It seems like a lot of these beliefs are kind of just being made up as they go. And let me point out, folks, I want to say I respect everyone out there. Okay. I respect everyone out there who believes whatever they want to believe. Please believe whatever you like. Yeah, but I can't help myself, okay? I have a lot of trauma in regards to being in a Christian church and being gay. So I take out my rage by pointing out the obvious weirdness in a lot of this shit, okay? Just think critically, folks. Please just think critically. Anyway, so there you go, guys. Paul Squaw, gonna find Jehovah's Witnesses bleeding out in their kitchens trying to do homemade blood banks. Probably Paul Squaw. Okay. So all right. Okay, that's fair, Gwen. Other people, you all can do what you want. Okay, you all believe what you want. Better pray a lot harder, right, Paul Squaw? Okay. Wait, so Sir Bartholomew, wait, what happens when Iran pulls out the iron chariots, right? Okay, what's Hegseth gonna do then? I don't know, cry. All right. The Mormons got the Bachelorette canceled. Is that true? I didn't hear about that. Um, oh, I know, TJ. That's really gross. You can never read about the blood banks without reading about the skin banks. Oh, I know. Okay. Oh, I know, Asmund. I know they're ruining a lot. Okay. Okay. So moving on. Let's go on here, guys. That's just a little side note. Little side note. I'm just not a big fan of that shit. Not a big fan of that and sort of the arbitrariness of it all, resulting in the death of thousands of people before you suddenly change your mind randomly. Okay, moving on here. And to be clear, guys, religion, as I always say, can be used for good or for bad. There, for example, are Christian socialists who are very heroic and do fantastic things on the basis of their belief. Then there are Christian right-wing nuts who do horrible things on their belief. Same thing with Islam, same thing with Judaism. Religion is more about the believer than it is about the faith. That being said, sometimes the hierarchy of certain faiths can result in a lot of death and destruction for people. That's deeply immoral, in my opinion, okay? For no good reason. All right? Okay. Like, for example, with the Jehovah's Witnesses, how many atheists do we think would suddenly start thinking that it was evil to get a blood transfusion? Probably not many. There might be a few out there, but there's some things that you're unlikely to believe in as an atheist that is bad, that you're much more likely to believe in if you're religious. Anyway, moving on. Okay. So, moving on. Yeah, probably none, Sasha. Okay, unless they have a mental health issue, to be honest with you. Okay. So let's go on, guys. Okay, some other good news stories. By good, I don't mean good, I mean horrible. Or I mean horrible and terrifying and everything's horrible. But hey, it's Saturday, guys. It's Saturday. Sasha, you get a boop. Boop. Welcome, Sasha. Mayflower Kid, you get a bonk. Bonk! Just because I'm mad at you for no reason, Mayflower Kid. You're going to be the target today, Mayflower Kid. Mainly because I don't think Dolly Boy's here. I need some sort of target. Asmic gets a boop. Boop. Who's Taylor Franking Paul? I don't know who that is. Okay, let's go on. Let's go on here. Next story. Oh my God, Matt Saigai, you're an angel. Thank you, Matt Saigai. Matt Saigai just gave a sub to Sasha. Sasha, you have a new sub. Thank you very much. You're now subbed over on Twitch. Okay. You're gonna get all sorts of bonks, Mayflower Kid. Moving on. So let's talk about the Mango Mussolini because we can't help ourselves. Oh really? Oh, I'm sorry, Asmat. I mean, I don't know. Do you watch The Bachelorette? Why did the Mormons get it canceled? You know what? I'm gonna look it up. It's Saturday. Let's look this up real fast. Mormons cancel The Bachelorette. I don't give a shit. I don't watch any of these shows, but Mormons cancel The Bachelorette. It'll be kind of a funny side story. Oh, that's okay. The Secret Lives of Mormon Wife Star and her ex-boyfriend are subject of domestic assault investigation. Oh. Oh, so she was going to be on The Bachelorette. Oh my God, she stepped out of bounds of her then husband's safe, soft swinging. What the hell is this? They were embroiled in a fallout of a domestic violent incident during the season's premiere. Well, okay, this is insane. What the hell is this about? This is all crazy. By Utah police, the investigation has led to a pause of the season. Okay, so, oh wow, that's good. That's fun. So there was some abuse happening. So now they've paused the production of the show. Maybe they should just cancel the show at this point. It is Sir Bartholomew, but it's amusing. I'm going to get right back to the important stuff, I promise you, but it is deeply amusing that this is, okay. This is the kind of shit. All right. Well, that's terrible. Okay. Well, whatever. Moving on. Interesting. I'm going to read about that later. All right. So going on here, let's read about the Mango Mussolini, shall we? She needs to not be on TV at all. I agree. She needs to not be on TV. If she's getting abused and shit. Anyway. All right. But it's now just a giant circus, I'm sure. Okay. Trump considers, so this is what Trump said yesterday. All right. Because, why not? Say whatever the fuck you want. He just kind of blurts out whatever comes to mind, regardless, despite of the consequences. So Trump yesterday said he was considering winding down the Iran war without opening the Strait of Hormuz. There you go. Difficult. He's a Gemini. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So Trump said on Friday that he's considering winding down the war with Iran. Is Meowzord here? Meowzord might be right. He might have said that just to prevent the stock market from falling more. Okay. Winding down the war with Iran without solving the crisis over the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Trump has said for several days that the war could end soon, but this is the strongest signal yet that he's actively moving in that direction. If he does walk away without reopening the strait, the U.S. would be leaving other countries to clean up a hugely consequential economic nightmare. So he says that we're getting very close to meeting our objectives as we consider winding down our great military efforts in the Middle East with respect to the terrorist regime of Iran. To be clear, guys, what's happening? We're sending a bunch of Marines now over to the Middle East with landing craft, and at the same time, he's like, we're winding it down. So again, the incompetence of this regime is insane. And you're right, Grindcar. Maybe he wants to end it, but he's deep in it, and he's not going to be able to get out of it. He can't, which we all predicted would happen, right? Like once you start this war, Iran has no reason to end it because they're winning. They're gonna demand stuff because of course they are. Now he thinks that we can just leave and everything will be fine. No, that's not how that works. And by the way, it is estimated that if the cost of oil rises above, what is it, $120 a barrel, you're going to start having economic problems. And if it gets up to 200, you're going to see massive economic collapse. And I would say that if the cost of oil doesn't go down by April, we are going to start seeing massive economic consequences like collapse, like the collapse of regimes and shit like that. Okay. Like not the collapse of regimes, like the collapse of economies and shit like that. So right now, all the cards are in Iran's hands. All right. Yeah, he could stop Grindcar, but then that won't really. Iran might still keep the Strait of Hormuz closed. I mean, I want him to stop, but it just shows you how stupid this all is, how evil, how stupid, how illegal. It's just what. Yep, there you go, Asmit. See, Asmit agrees. Thank you, Asmit, for backing me up. That's what I heard from the finance channels. It's possible, Sasha. I suspect, as Meowzord said yesterday, it's possible he said that on Friday so that the markets would recover slightly before the weekend, and they did. Right when he said that we should slow down the war, the stock market went up a little bit. So it might be that he tried to do that for the sake of the weekend. I don't know, but it's just it's funny. It's really funny to me. Okay. We're going to end it. We're not going to end it. We've won. We haven't won. We've hit all the sites, but there's still sites to hit. I don't know. It's just what the fuck. Great. Don't we love the American Empire? Very competent regime here. Very competent regime. I'm very brilliant militarily, brilliant morally. No problems. Okay, no problems here. All right. He also, by the way, is saying that if the United States does leave the region, it will be left up to our allies to reopen the Straits of Hormuz, which they haven't agreed to do. So he's just going to go, YOLO, we're leaving. Good luck, allies. You can open up the strait. Good. Great. And to be clear, there you go, as such, to be clear, guys, we also know that there aren't enough troops right now in the Middle East to launch a full-fledged invasion of Iran, like Iran proper. Now, so I don't know this for sure, guys. I suspect he is not aiming to launch a ground invasion of mainland Iran. There's just not enough troops there right now. As far as I know, there's about maybe what 5 to 7,000. That is not enough really for a ground invasion, but it is possible. It's very likely that we're going to be trying to seize that island, some of the Iran's islands in that area, including Karg Island. I could be wrong about this. It could be that we are going to do a physical ground invasion. I haven't seen evidence of that, but it is also possible that there is. That's fair, Sasha. And this is why I'm saying I do not. This is just my guess. I could be very wrong about this. Okay. For just from what I've read, we don't have enough troops and equipment there. Sasha could be right. It could be that Karg Island isn't the goal. It could be something else is the goal. But I don't think there's enough troops there for this. It could be that could be the case though. There's also the fog of war, so it's possible that we don't really know how many troops are there and that they're hiding it. But still, okay. Regardless, oh, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Okay, great news. Great news. So that's fun. Um, yeah, you've read 50K, right? There you go. We're the empire. Okay, we're the empire of man. All right. Okay, guys. So, 50K in the region, then Sasha, I may have read wrong. That's very possible. Okay. If there's 50K in the region, then we're getting up there to a force that could begin an invasion, but we'd still need more to occupy. Matt Saga, I haven't yet. I haven't had time. I would love to, Matt Saga. All right. So there you go, guys. Another fun story about Trump. You know, apparently we're winding down the Iran war. That's what he says, while we're also escalating it and doing nothing to stop it. Meanwhile, Israel is now invading Lebanon and has said that they're going to occupy a chunk of Lebanon for security reasons. Whenever they say that, by the way, they mean they want to seize it and annex it. Okay, so hello, Retro Asher. So glad you're here. So that's good. Love that. Yep. We have Retro Asher. So you came in just in time. Another story for the Saturday we're here. Yeah, yep. Another story for our Saturday here. The Drug Enforcement Agency in the United States is now saying that the leader of Colombia is a primary target for drug enforcement actions. And what's funny about this, guys, is that that's what they said about Maduro before they removed him from office. They claimed that our aggressive war, our aggressive attack on Venezuela was a law enforcement action. Okay, because they arrested Maduro and claimed he was like a drug kingpin or whatever. Well, now they're saying the same thing about the president of Colombia, which implies that they might be aiming to overthrow him too. Probably because he defied the American empire when he was supporting Venezuela during that crisis. So that's good, guys. And we might be taking out another government. Why not, right? Why not? I mean, come on, we've already started. Might as well finish the job and take on every government on the planet, right? For shits and giggles. Sure, that'll end well. That'll end very well. We're not the evil empire at all. Surely we're not the bad guys, right? We're not the bad guys. We're not the bad guys, right, guys? Please tell me we're not the bad guys. So, please, God. Um, so that's good. So great. We might be going to, also take out another leader in Latin America. God bless America, land that I love. But I don't. All right. So that's good. Everyone feel the patriotism pumping through your veins. Sir Bartholomew. Sir Bartholomew, do you feel a tear going down your cheek as you gaze upon the American flag? Sir Bartholomew says, imagine willingly going to war on two different fronts. Right? Sir Bartholomew, of course they would do that, though. They would totally do that. They would totally do that. Okay. Yeah, you're right, Louise. Just to spread freedom, freedom and democracy. What's wrong with that, right, Louise? Okay. Paul Squaw says, gaze upon the American flag. Oh, that sounds hot, Paul Squaw. Oh, I can just imagine two gays on. Never mind. Okay. Anyway, yes, Paul Squaw. All right. So that's good news. Great. Yeah, we are the bad guys, right, Mayflower Kid? I'm starting to think, guys, we're the bad guys. You're right. You're right, Matt Saigai. This isn't a war. It's a special military operation. Putin lent us his term. That's actually like true, as in we literally. That's the kind of language that our government is using. We all know that, right? How they called what happened in Venezuela a drug enforcement action. They called what happening in Iran a military operation. Like they're not. we, oh, I love it. Yeah, World Special Military Operation One incoming. Exactly. I, God, oh my God, I just, okay. Someone save me. There you go, Paul Squaw. It's not a war. It's an excursion. Oh my God. All right. Dear God. So that's silly. That's funny stuff. All right. That's good. Love that for us. Now, okay, so there we go. Just a few stories. Yeah, it's a friendly, a military field trip, right? Right, Red Pro. Okay, so this is good. This is good. So there's some fun stories for your Saturday, just to point out. Why not? Shits and giggles, everyone. Shits and giggles. Let's go on now to the next story here, which is fun. Now this is actually slightly a positive story, right? Maybe a slight bit of a palate cleanser, I guess. Okay, a slight bit of a palate cleanser. Focus, Jonas. We're not talking about that yet. Welcome, Jonas. Um, all right. So let's talk about. Oh, excuse me. No, Mayflower Kid. Me sticking out my pinky while I eat my cracker is not an etiquette faux pas. Okay, this just shows that I am superior. I am more cultured and classy. Okay, screw you. All right, Mayflower Kid. Okay. Anyway, all right, look at this little pinky here. Look at that shit. I'm gonna do it now just to spite Mayflower Kid. Okay. So here's kind of a positive story, I guess. I guess slightly positive, I guess, given the state of the world. I could fart into the mics, Matt Saiga. In some cultures, burping is considered a good thing to do. All right. So a judge has ruled that the Pentagon's press policy underneath Hegseth is unconstitutional. So we remember that the Pentagon has been forced any journalists who come to the Pentagon to sign a release form that they would basically not that basically would limit their ability to report on anything. Okay. So which resulted, and since so many press organizations refused to sign it, the Pentagon ended up refusing access to multiple press organizations, basically the ones that refused to obey their demand. So in the Pentagon, the only press that are in there are basically press outlets that are pro US military. Okay. Um so, right, Jonas. So, a judge did rule today that that is unconstitutional, and they have to let in any press now. That you can't restrict the freedom of the press in regards to who goes into the Pentagon, which means there should be at least a little better reporting, I guess, from the Pentagon. There will be fewer people in there that are. You'll just get the regular sycophants. You'll just get the regular sycophants in there. You're right, Paul Squad. This doesn't mean that they won't. It might be that this won't happen right away. It might have to go to the Supreme Court or something first. They might ignore it. But it does show you, and as I said this, guys, we do still have a judiciary that still is combating the Trump administration. Sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's not. Regardless, hey, I just needed some kind of positive story, right? This is a positive one. They were defeated in court. All right. I think that's a good thing. That you can't do that. I know it's a small thing. Meanwhile, we're murdering civilians all over the world and shit. Yeah, I guess you take a win where you can get one, right? I guess. Uh, okay. So, all right. So there you go. Judges ruled that that's unconstitutional and shit. All right. So there's kind of a positive story. I'm sorry, I did not present that well. I make it like it doesn't. I make it sound like it's not that positive, do I? I doubt that really cheered anyone up. You know what? Here, I got a better story for all of you. Maybe this one will cheer all you up. Okay. Um. Ooh, what is this, Jonas? Let's take a look at this before I do that. Trump-backed television. What? Trump has a God damn it. God damn it. I hate all of you. Don't yell at me. God damn it. Okay, I'll take a look at that in a second, Jonas. So I'll put this into shit. Okay, I'll put this into I'll figure that out in a second, Jonas. Okay, how dare you, Asmit? So let's watch. We'll get back to that, Jonas. So this is here's another, I guess, positive thing. I guess, kind of, not really. Another court thing that went
This
well.
video.
Okay, another court thing recently that went well, I
Legal
guess.
win.
Okay, so here, let's just watch it fast. Has anyone heard this story? 'Cause I'm from Ohio. And this is a story in Ohio. But it is deeply reflective of the whole country, America. I mean the U.S. So well, you know what? I'm not going to tell you the story. I'll just let you listen to this, okay? And there was a positive result in court. Let's see if it's a happy story.
Legal win for one Ohio mother dealing with an unthinkable tragedy. A jury deciding Chelsea Walsh's former employer, TQL, must pay her more than $22 million after denying her the ability to work from home during her high-risk pregnancy. In February 2021, Walsh
So, this is supposed to be a feel-good story, but I'm going to guarantee you it's not going to be feel-good, okay? First of all, so there was a woman just to show you how evil our corporate capitalist culture here is in the United States. There was a pregnant woman in Ohio who had a very high-risk pregnancy, and in order to, she requested her employer that she work from home because the strain of working in person was a threat to her and her unborn child. And she needed the income to survive because that we're living in a capitalist hellhole and she's pregnant. They refused her request, so she continued working in the office and she lost the child. Okay. The fetus died, the unborn child died. And so then she sued the company for $22 million for wrongful death. And so and she won. Now, I guess it's kind of a happy story. We'll finish watching, except for the fact that it's not.
underwent emergency surgery to prevent early labor. She requested to work from home following the advice from her doctor to remain on bed rest. The lawsuit alleges Walsh's manager gave her two options: remain on unpaid leave until she gave birth, or work in the office against medical advice. Walsh said that she couldn't afford to lose income or health insurance, so she made the difficult decision to return to work. Just days later, though, Walsh went into labor, giving birth to her daughter Magnolia at just 20 weeks and 6 days. Magnolia died in her arms an hour and a half later. And now I want to bring in our NBC News legal analyst, Misty Maris, to help us understand.
So, you know what, Jonas? You're not wrong. Jonas says no doubt her managers are also pro-life. Probably, Jonas. Probably. They're probably Republicans who are like pro-life and then have no problem letting a mother work in a way where she dies. Okay. Yep. You're right. Outer Signal. You're not wrong. Outer Signal says wild, and if she passed from complications, she would have been a cautionary tale and been replaced in 24 hours. Yep. Don't you love capitalism, guys? Don't you all love being cogs in a giant corporate machine where your lives and the lives of your children don't matter? All that matters is the almighty dollar. Profit, profit, profit. Even in this case, guys, I don't even want to say that this was about profit. This was about control. She was offering to work at home. No doubt she could have still contributed to the profit of the company working from home. They just didn't want to let her do that. Almost like, well, we just don't want you to be outside of our realm of power and control. That's kind of what it seems like to me. This wasn't okay. So, and they probably didn't want to set the precedent that they could do that if other employees might start requesting it. So this is why, guys, capitalism is not bad, is not just bad because of the profit motive. It is an unjust system of power, right? Where you have private tyrants who tell you what to do in an undemocratic way and with very few restraints. You have almost no rights in a workplace, okay? You have no freedom of speech. You have no freedom of assembly. You have no freedom to petition, okay? You have none of those rights in the Declaration of Independence. I mean, in the Constitution, for example. Anyway, so, okay. I disgusting, disgusting. Yay. Yay, guys. Great. Let's see what this legal analyst has to say. I am curious. I have actually haven't heard what she has to say. Um, Retro, I agree with you, Retro. Mecha Kind, you know it's going great over here. It's great. Love it, love it. Don't worry, we've already taken Austria, Mecha Kind, so the Sudetenland is in our hands. Poland is next on the list. Right now we're forming a non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union. We're not going to break that at all. No worries about that. We're not going to betray that at all. No problem with that. No problems here, Mecha Kind. Okay, so Retro, you say a hot take, but whoever denied that request, should genuinely be held for the attempted murder of this woman. I completely agree. 100%. This person should be put on trial, found guilty, and thrown in prison. But alas, we don't have a fair country. That's not going to happen. Mecha Kind, thank you for the hydrate. I shall hydrate. All right. Let's continue. Yes.
This case, Misty, clearly such a difficult case and tragic circumstances. The jury found enough evidence in the mother's case to side with her. So walk us through what they decided.
Yeah, Gabe, this is obviously a tragic case, and it's a very unique legal theory. This was brought under a wrongful death statute. So this is seeking damages relating to the death.
But see, guys, I know this is very dark, but it is good news legally, because other people could now bring wrongful death lawsuits to court if an employer does something like this. Now, I am concerned, however, guys, one of my biggest concerns. No, Matt Saigai, the child died. I phrased it wrong. The child died after it was born, Matt Saigai. The child died in her arms. So this isn't a this isn't like this isn't like the child didn't die or the fetus didn't. I thought that's what happened, but it died after she was born, after the child was born. Okay. I am deeply concerned, though, guys. Yeah, that was my mistake, Matt Saigai. I am deeply concerned, though, that one of these cases might go up to the Supreme Court. And remember the presentation I did, guys, on the power elite theory. How do we think the Supreme Court would rule if this case was brought before them about whether an employer could be found guilty for something like this? Based off the elite theory, what would be the most likely outcome if something like this came before the Supreme Court? And what kind of precedent would it set? All right. Yep, there you go, Paul Squall. The Supreme Court would say it's the woman's fault or something, or it's the employee's fault. That was a decision the employee made, and they should have had a different place of work if they didn't like it. Yeah, LaCroix, employers can't be found guilty of things. You see what I mean? Especially since this is not a social issue, they might find an employer guilty of like discrimination, but they're not going to do it if it affects the bottom line of a capital owner's position over their employees. Okay. So, okay, that's great, right? Stop hurting the corporation's feelings. Exactly, Outer Signal. And this is why elite theory is super interesting and is a great way of predicting things. It's not perfect, but you can guess what would happen. Meowser, the story is that there was a woman in Ohio who had a very complicated pregnancy. She requested that her employer allow her to work from home because of the high risk of the pregnancy. They said no. They said you either you either take time off without pay and lose your health insurance, or you come into the office. She decided to come into the office. After she gave birth to the child died in her arms because of complications related to her exertions at working at the office. And so a court has now ruled that she is owed $22 million for a wrongful death lawsuit in Ohio. Okay. All right. So Jonas, they recently determined that boneless chickens can have bones after a person had serious medical issues at a restaurant. Oh my God. What? Exactly, Jonas. This is my point. That's elite theory shit. Yep. No wonder, Jonas. It's almost like elite theory is right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Is to compensate the family, the loved ones who have lost their loved ones. So this is about negligence. It's whether or not there was a foreseeable risk that this terrible tragedy would occur. So what the jury was focusing on and what was presented at trial was what the employer knew and when about the high-risk pregnancy and those circumstances. And when they did not grant the plaintiff the ability to work from home, was that the cause of this tragic outcome? So the jury jury
Yeah.
ultimately found in favor of the plaintiff, meaning that the plaintiffs were able to get that evidence over the net. The jury found it credible and ultimately gave this $20+ million award.
And look, let's see, something
There you
that
go,
stood
Ryan
out to
Carr.
us in the suit. Lawyers for Walsh, they say that her husband
Sorry.
spoke with his employer's HR manager, who told him the work from home denial his wife got was wrong. That manager contacted an executive at TQL to tell him they were making a mistake, to which the exec responded, quote, "Thank you. You just saved us a lawsuit." How much did that likely help Walsh's case here?
This is really a central part of the case, and it's a really just convoluted fact pattern because you have this piece of
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Okay.
information that's so critical coming from outside the company, and then the response really being about saving a lawsuit. Gabe, that speaks to that issue of whether or not there was a foreseeable risk. The response really indicates that it was known by the company, or that's the argument, that it was known by the company
They knew
that there could be a tragic outcome if in fact they did not act. So that's certainly something that was focused upon, and clearly the jury, finding in favor of the plaintiff, saw it that way and applied it in that sense.
And this
Jesus Christ. Okay. So there's another story, guys. Another fun, I guess you could say, story. Love that, guys. Paul Squaw, the foreseeable risk was letting women have jobs. Right. Well, Paul Squaw, that's exactly what I know you're joking, Paul Squaw, but that's the argument that a lot of people will make. That's like the right-wing argument will be like, well, maybe, women shouldn't be put in a situation where that might happen. And they will turn this into an argument of how to oppress more. And they'll ignore the economic issue here and the authoritarianism of corporate entities, which is the big problem, guys. I am a socialist. For those who didn't know that, I know that might be shocking. I believe that workplaces should be operated democratically by the employees. You should not have a separate owning class from a working class. They should be the same thing. The working class should own the business. Have the workers own the business and collectively decide what to do with it. In which case, there won't be these complete competing interests. If you have owners who are separate from employees, they have completely different interests, and the employers, which have more power, will make decisions that are very bad for the employees because their goal is profit, right? And the employees will not get what they need out of it because they don't have power. Okay. You know what? Maybe we'll talk about this in a bit. It's Saturday. We can do some random shit. We can chat about some shit. Yeah, Meowsword, this is also an interesting discussion around right to work from home. If this was pre-COVID, they might rule differently. Right, Meowsword. Okay. At the very least, folks, can we agree that everyone should be unionized and there should be a union? There should be a union. Like everyone should have a union. At the very least, if we're gonna have this two-tiered system of owners and workers, at the very least, the workers should have some sort of collective protection from this sort of bullshit. Okay. Outer Signal, every heartwarming human interest story in America. Yeah, he raised 20,000 to keep 200 orphans from being crushed in an orphan crushing machine. Hilarious. Outer Signal. That sounds like an Onion headline. And then never asks why an orphan crushing machine exists. Outer Signal, I want to add that to our quotes. I'm going to actually copy. I'm going to add that to our quotes on Discord. Please join our Discord, folks. We have a fast-growing Discord community. Okay. And I would appreciate if you guys join the Discord. Where the hell did I put this shit? I'll put this here. All right, we'll just do that here. Whatever, fuck it. Fuck it, we'll do it here. Okay. So anyway, yeah, that's the kind of shit we live with. We need a different economic system, right? We know that, right? Okay. Okay, so moving on here, that's another heartwarming story for all of you here, though.
Cop.
While we are on, while we're on heartwarming stories, okay, you know what? I know it's a Saturday, guys. Don't worry. We'll have we'll talk about some happy things, maybe. Don't worry. We'll get to some fun shit, I'm sure. This story is from a little bit ago. This is from Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie. Dr. Rashad is a pretty cool guy. He has a show, and you know what? You can read the bottom of this screen here if you want to be warned about what we're going to talk about. Black family freezes to death after cop neglected to search. And I just wanted to, let's just watch this and see what he has to say. I actually haven't seen it. I read about what happened, but let's see what Rashad Ritchie has to say. Just as another illustration about how our country is a goddamn shithole and needs some major changes. Okay? Everyone ready? Yay!
He doesn't care and allows a family to freeze to death. He neglected to even search. Put up the picture full mass. This is a disturbing story. It's going to make your blood boil. Body cam reveals that a Michigan cop neglected to search for a Black mother and children who eventually froze to death because he didn't, quote, particularly care, end quote. The family
That's the quote, folks. I didn't particularly care.
of a mentally ill Black woman and her 2 children who froze to death in a field in Pontiac, Michigan, January 2023. They are now suing Oakland County and several of its deputy sheriffs, alleging they callously and willfully failed to help their loved ones to find shelter and medical care in bitterly cold conditions. Temperatures range from 23 to 31 degrees Fahrenheit. As Monica Kennedy, 35 years of age, her sons Malik, Milton, and Kyle Milton, 9, and her surviving daughter, then 10.
Yeah, Malzord.
And identified in the suit as Jane Doe, roamed the streets near Detroit during a windy winter on Friday, January 13th, 2023. So according to one of the 2 federal lawsuits currently filed on their behalf by relative Cherry Kennedy,
okay.
last week, the children wore light clothing.
Yep.
Had no coats.
Why? Okay.
Had no hats, no gloves, were draped in bed sheets, and, quote, were in imminent danger of severe injury or death, as they and their mother had multiple encounters with Oakland deputies who either refused or negligently failed to usher them to safety. At 1:01 p.m. on that Friday, quote, Good Samaritan,
we'll talk in a second
called the
here, folks.
Oakland County Sheriff's Office via 911, reporting that a family of 4 was knocking on doors, asking for help, and wearing only bed sheets to protect them from the cold.
Oh, my God.
The complaint says. The caller, who had turned the family away and then observed Monica Kennedy trying to break into a neighbor's house, requested a welfare check. Mm-hmm. So Officer Kazel was overheard on body cam for 16 minutes disclosing what he really thought to a colleague, referring to Johnson. The officer said, quote, what really grinds my gears.
Oh my God, he's Peter Griffin.
Is that these people can't just mind their own effing business. Then complained about not being able to do, quote, real police work. He continued, quote, what do you want me to do? Rip them out of their mother's arms and effing spend 7 hours trying to get them into CPS protective custody because they're out on the street with their mom and it's kind of cold out, question mark. The kids will still be there in an hour. And when we get another welfare check, people in Pontiac just don't die. It's a CYA, cover your ass, because a dumbass ghetto politician can't just leave well enough alone because it is kind of cold out.
I didn't hear that part. He said a dumbass ghetto politician can't leave well enough alone.
End quote. Put up the community. So as you can see, Kazel, the officer, summed up his point of view about searching for Monica and her minor children by announcing, quote, I don't particularly care.
Okay. So we're going to pause that there. We get the idea. Yeah. And guys, Jesus. So there are multiple things here that we can talk about, right? First of all, why are there mentally ill people? They said she had a mental health issue. Why is there a mentally ill person on the street without housing with 2 kids, why don't they have housing? Why haven't they gotten treatment? Why hasn't our system provided these things? When we're living in one of the wealthiest countries in human history, there should not be people that have to wander around on the streets with children. Like, that's a big structural failure that's even happening, okay? The fact that they're even there. Second of all, so that's one big problem, that we have such a horrible healthcare system and mental health care system that this poor woman didn't have treatment, okay, and didn't have access to housing. The next thing here, right, is the fact that they went to one house and the people in that house refused to even help them. So there's a cultural issue there. People don't like helping each other, which I know that that's sort of a smaller thing, but like why don't what okay, I get there might be some concern there. You don't know the person, but I don't know. To me, if there were people out in like the freezing cold, I might at least let them stay in my house while I call someone to come help them or get them or something. I don't know. Then we have this a mother and her children. The mother tried to break into a neighbor's house, thus proving the fact that crime goes up when people don't have what they need. Of course, they're going to try and break into a house. They want to live. They're trying to live. She wants to save her children's lives. Okay. So, all right. On top of that, I'm sure in many cases, guys, that mother would be thrown into prison if she were caught doing that and being called a burglar, even though she's just trying to survive. Meanwhile, we have this police officer who doesn't give a flying F and is clearly has a racist issue going on. The fact that he said some ghetto politician, okay, like God bless this country is all I have to say. God bless this country. Sir Bartholomew, you don't got to take them as your own. Just treat them like humans and get them help, right, Sir Bartholomew? Right? God bless this goddamn country. Okay, I love it. Ironic because I bet this cop is a Christian too. Probably, Sir Bartholomew. Am I sure about what, Sasha? No, Sasha, I don't know. It might not be a racism thing, but that phrase he used, some ghetto politician, is a very racialized phrase. It is a very racialized phrase. I don't know if this cop is white, black, I don't know. But even black cops have some pretty racialized views of the world that are also mixed up with class. Yeah, that's what my point here is. Do we all agree? Do we all agree that's sort of a racialized term, ghetto politician? You see what I mean? Okay. So that's good, guys. Yeah, and her kids died because of this. She obviously would have done any crime. Of course, Lacroix, I would have. If my children were dying because of the cold and were freezing, I would have broken into a house to try and save myself and them. Um, I lived in Linden. Oh, you lived in Linden. Uh, which Linden, Sasha? Which Linden? Do you mean there? Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, Sasha, I agree with everything you're saying and stuff, okay? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you hated, North Linden. Oh, North London or Linden? Uh, Sasha? Yeah. So this story, I thought it was interesting because it captures so many problems with the United States right now. Linden, okay. Like in Ohio? Do I know you? Or do I know you IRL, Sasha? Okay, just curious. Uh, okay. Wow. Okay. Oh my God, Sasha, I didn't know you lived there. That's fair. I don't. Okay, that's fair, Sasha. All right. I can't tell you where I am, but I'm right near Columbus, Sasha. Like not very far from you. Okay, let's put it that way. Um, so Mecha Kind, this is from Philip DeFranco. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. Maybe we can chat. Sasha, are you in our Discord? You should if you're not. And maybe I would like to chat with you, maybe just to see. Okay. Right. Let's see here. This is from Philip DeFranco show. Okay, Mecha Kind, let's take a look at it. Okay. What's 36 minutes, Meowzord? What's 36 minutes?
In the summer of 2016.
Okay. So this is what's this about? What's really happening in Trump's economy? Okay, let's watch this here in a moment. Oh, I got you, Malzord. You're saying this is 36 minutes. Thank you, Mecha Kind. We can't watch this, Mecha Kind. It's way too long. If you want to go to the sorry guys, I'm just doing some secretarial stuff. If you go to our Discord and post it in the reactions, you can then put a timestamp for the. No, that's okay, Mecha Kind. But you can go to the Discord if you put in the reactions what segment you want us to watch, would love that. Okay, and then we can watch a segment of it. All right, but thank you, Mecha Kind. Thank you for the contribution, really, for all that you sent. Okay, if you send me something shorter, I can watch that. You did send money. Okay, okay, guys. So there. God bless America. Okay, now we can talk about a story that I guess has a little bit has a little bit of a positive in it.
Jury.
Has anyone heard of the Afroman shit? Has anyone heard of the Afroman stuff? I don't know if I can I don't think I can show his music video on stream. I don't think I can do that. I recommend you watch it though. Afroman, as he's done some great music videos regarding what happened to him, and I don't know much about it. But Afroman, I only just learned about this full story. He is a black man who's something happened. Yeah, it's amazing, Jonas. It is amazing. His music is the best clapback, but I can't show it on stream, unfortunately. Yes, Retro, this is the guy that got raided by the police, and they massively abused that situation. Hello, Gray Stuff. Welcome, Gray Stuff. So glad you're here. Are you still here, Gray Stuff? You're new to our streams. Glad to see you here. Okay. He something happened. Yeah, we could maybe an After Dark Asmit, we could watch him. The police raided his house. They stole stuff from his fridge. They broke down his door. There was tons of other corruption going on. So the police, I think, ended up suing him for defamation, and he went to court and he won the court case. Is that what happened? Or did he sue them for what they did? And then they countersued thank you, Sir Bartholomew. The police illegally raided his home, caused a mess, and when he made some music videos clowning on them, the sheriff's deputy sued for defamation. Okay, that's right. They sued him for his music, and he won the court case, guys, which is a great victory. And I recommend you look him up on YouTube. He made videos, music videos, about this raid, this illegal raid, where he shows images from the raid, and the songs are hilarious. Okay, they're great. Cracking on the cops and things like that, and highlighting how corrupt they are. And a lot of the things he says about them are true because this defamation lawsuit failed. So the court decided that that's okay, right?
Has sided with the rapper Afroman in the civil lawsuit filed against him by Adams County deputies.
Yeah.
WCPO 90's reporter Jay Shakur is live outside the courthouse tonight. This verdict, Jay, was read right about 30 minutes ago, and you spoke to Afroman as he was leaving. What's his reaction?
That's right. Afroman had a very emotional reaction. The jury, as you mentioned, siding with the rapper Afroman, whose real name is Joseph Foreman, in this case. Here's video from inside the courtroom as this case went on. During closing arguments, the attorney representing the deputies in this case claimed Afroman intentionally lied about and defamed the deputies in his songs, but Afroman's attorneys maintained throughout this trial it is his right to say what he wants to say. This goes back to 2022 when Afroman's home was raided.
This is all footage from his house being raided.
And trafficking in drugs and kidnapping. Though he was never charged, the attorneys for the deputies suing say Afroman used security video from the raid on his home and put it in a music video using deputies' likeness without permission. Again, this jury in Adams County finding he did not defame those deputies. Here's Afroman speaking directly after that verdict.
I didn't win. America won. America still has freedom of speech. It's still for the people, by the people.
Hello, Dolly Boy. Guys, to be clear, I know I keep saying this, and I know I'm in a lefty community, so you guys don't have to agree with me, but I've said this before, and I sometimes get pushback. There is the court system, our legal system, it hasn't gone completely to shit yet. Yes, it's already shit because it is racist a lot of times, okay? It's classist. It's lots of other issues, but we still have a jury system where, like, you can kind of for example, you can get around what the state does to you if a jury agrees with you, right? There are tons of issues with our court system. I do not say, because I know. I'm not saying it's a good court system. I'm saying that it is still partially functional, and it's not always horrible, okay? I am not defending it, but Afroman is somewhat right. And I don't want to say the whole we still have freedom thing. No, but he was able, imagine like he defeated a police department. Okay. I mean, if the system was completely gone and run by the state, that probably wouldn't happen. But regardless, That is like one of the few things in the United States that is still can sometimes still function is like jury cases. I do not like rogue cops in courts, Mad Sci Guy. You know I don't. I'm just saying. I've said this before. I know I get pushback, but it's you can. This is an example of that, right? All right.
Afroman becoming emotional there as he says this fight was bigger than him. It was about free speech and what he describes as corruption in this sheriff's department. I spoke to one supporter who came all the way from Dallas. I have more on that and more reaction from the rapper tonight at 11.
No, how dare no, Sir Bartholomew. I hate all of you. Sir Bartholomew, you get a bonk. Bonk. No more. Okay, grind card, that is fair. It is possible that it worked for him because he's famous. That is partially true. I will say, though, that that other woman was not famous, and she got a $22 million settlement for the death of her child. It's not good enough because the child is still dead. Okay, I'm just saying, again, I'm not complimenting the court system. I'm just trying to be realistic that there are still cases where it works in favor of the little guy, although it is biased, racist, and all these other things. Okay, Lacroix, you say you can allegedly commit a crime, and if you get a jury to agree with you that it's not a crime, then they can just subvert the actual law and do some germ. Yeah, Lacroix, I agree. Yeah, okay. I got the guy. I know, guys. Okay, 100% work. How dare you know what? Pole squat, you get a bonk. Bonk. How dare you? We'll take a look at it, Jonas. All right. You got to. What's your stream streak, Dolly Boy? You know what? All of you, I hate all of you. Oh my God, you are. Dolly Boy is on a 110 stream streak. Dear God, Dolly Boy, I love you, Dolly Boy. You're my favorite. You're definitely my favorite now. Definitely not Matt Saigai anymore because Matt Saigai's saying I like cops. Okay. Yeah, anyway, screw all of you. Matt Saigai, sexy cops. You know what, Lacroix? You know, bonk. No, don't, guys. Do not make me put chat in timeout. I will put chat in timeout. Don't make me do it. Anyone else want to speak up? I will put chat in timeout. I will get rid of the chat from the main screen here. I will do it. I will censor all of you. I will use my authority. Anyone? Anyone else? Okay. Lurking snow leopard. Don't you give me that look, lurking snow leopard. Okay. Anyway. And by the way, it is also hard for me to say that. I am a white guy. Do you think, like, clearly, probably, I might not say that if I wasn't white. You know, that I can understand that perception. I want to point that out, but I'm just saying there are okay. Okay, thank you, Lacroix. But no, Lacroix, I would be sexy if I did dress up like a cop. I want to emphasize that, but I never would. Okay. All right, guys. Macon, bye-bye. All right. Yeah, yeah, don't, okay, no. Lurking Snow Leopard, don't fall for their trap. They're bringing up Hassan because they know it annoys me. They're bringing up Hassan because they know it annoys me, okay? All right. Okay, so that's that. All right. Screw them. All right. Okay.
Jury.
So there we go. That's the Afroman. Let's watch what Jonas sent us about the Afroman stuff. Okay. Let's watch what Afroman sent us. Or not Afroman. Oh my God. What Jonas sent us. Boy, that could be taken as a racist. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah, my whole.
All right. Let's see here. No one heard that. Okay. So, Matt Saigai, screw you, Matt Saigai. Of course he would. Of course he would. That's the only benefit. I know. Do you hear that? I called Jonas Afroman, which, okay, whatever. How dare you, Dolly Boy? Okay, so they're suing me for their mistake, right? Jonas, thank you, Jonas, for the contribution. Oh my God, Jonas, thank you so much for sending all those out. You know what, guys? We'll put on the jester caller now. We'll just do that before we watch what Jonas sent us. Mayflower Kid, I don't need your sass. I don't need your sass. All right. Thank you, Jonas, for that. We have a hype train, a level 2 hype train. Ooh. Actually, we're about to get to a level 2 hype train. There, oh my God, we have a major hype train. Yay, hype trains. All right. All right, let's watch. So this is from Afro Defends Himself. Let's watch this. This is from Jonas. This is 1 minute and 47 seconds. I know, right? Lacroix, I love it. All right. Paul, guys, thank you so much. Guys, thank you. Paul Squash, Shy Snow Leopard, thank you for these contributions, really. Okay, guys, we've gotten enough. We'll do an After Dark stream. I guess we'll do an After Dark stream. Well, wait a minute. No. I said it has to be I'll take a look. Let me calculate. I'll have to calculate first. Dolly Boy, Guys, you're gonna make me cry. Stop it. You're being super nice. Okay. How dare you be so nice to me? Thank you, guys. Thank you. We have a Dolly Boy sending a God 11. Stop it. Oh my God. How dare you? Okay. We got okay. LaCroix, thank you. Dolly Boy. Dear God, Dolly Boy. All right, you guys. Thank you for all those contributions. Now I'm gonna be sad for the rest of the stream. You just ruined the stream because I'm gonna be sad at how much you sent me because of makes me I don't deserve it. Thank you. Okay, I'll stop. Thank you. All right, dude. Why would you ask them to stop? No, I'm joking. That's like it's a joke. Okay, it's a joke. I'm not actually asking them to stop. We know that, right? I'm joking about how I'm making it seem like I want them to stop, but obviously I don't. Thank you guys so much. All right. Okay. So let's go on here. I'm not. I hope you all know I'm not actually asking you to stop. Okay. All right. Anyway.
My whole thing is
okay.
they never
So let's
should have
watch
raided me
this.
in the first place.
Sent to us by Jonas.
That's your whole thing.
That's my whole thing.
That's the point,
That's my whole
isn't
thing.
it?
If they
No, Gray Stuff. You said, "Hey, I'm everywhere. I've been following for a while now." Oh, Gray Stuff, welcome. You're an established member of the community, even though maybe we don't acknowledge it. Glad you're here. Do you guys know Robbie Roadmaster too? I have not. Oh yes, no, I do. Gray Stuff. This guy that dresses like the giraffe and sings really funny songs. He's great. Okay. That's for sure, LaCroix.
never would have showed up, there would be no songs about them. I wouldn't know who they are.
I was saying stop sending me those contributions because it was making me cry, okay? No, it's fine. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Doug, actually, yes, I am just playing coy, and I get embarrassed because I get, anyway, whatever. Fuck all of you. You can send as much to me as you want, okay? Send me your money. Okay, maybe I'm going too far the opposite direction now. Whatever. Thank you, everyone who contributed.
Their faces would not be on my video cameras. None of this, we wouldn't be in this room right now if they hadn't raided my house and didn't press no charges, didn't even know what they was doing. This whole thing is their fault, and they're suing me for their mistake.
And so you don't really care if they stole your money or not. You're just mad about what they did.
I do care about if they stole one. Police officers shouldn't be stealing the civilians' money. So I do care. All of it is an outrage. This whole thing is an outrage.
You have no evidence that they took your money except for the amount on the bag isn't the same as the amount.
How about the lady admitting that she took?
Did you answer my
question? She admitted that she took my money on live Fox 19 News. Go argue with the film clip.
No,
I don't like this reporter. He's trying to. He doesn't trust him, does he?
Argue with her admitting that she took my money.
Nobody admitted that they took your money.
Well, whatever.
Oh, this is in
look
court,
at her
not a
admitting that
reporter.
the bag is short because it stayed open all weekend long or 2 weeks after Brian and Officer Cooley just left it and just mishandled it and didn't do it right.
Just so we're honest with the jury here, Mr. Foreman, nobody admitted that they took your money, did they?
They admitted it was short.
Yes.
Right, Jonas? I love that outfit.
Nobody admitted that they took your money. Correct?
It was short. She admitted, she said that it was short.
God.
Usually it's 10, 5, $2 missing. How does $400 even come up missing?
Okay. I just love how he's dressed, okay? I love how he's dressed. Okay. Anyway, thank you, Jonas. So he won, and we should all be happy that he won.
Can you
should
tell
go
me what fact?
maybe if we do the After Dark, we will. If we do the After Dark, we will maybe go and watch some of his music videos because they're great and they're perfect for what we're talking about. Okay, guys, that's the Afroman story. I'm done with it. Thank you again, everyone who contributed. We're actually at a what are we? We're at a gift one sub. What? I can do that? Oh, I got you. Okay, we're at a level 2 hype train, which is nice. Okay. Let me do a little. I know we just did this, guys. No wonder the cops lost. That was a shitty cross-examination. Correct, LaCroix. So let me quickly, but like there was so much evidence, it was really hard. Exactly, Sylvie, ACAB. Despite there was so oh my God, Shy Snow Leopard, thank you very much. Oh my God, yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you for the 600 bits, Shy Snow Leopard. Oh my God. Okay, thank you very much. All right, you're the best. LaCroix, what are you doing? I mean, sorry. Thank you, LaCroix. Thank you. Oh my God, what are you all doing? I hate you all so much. You're gonna. Okay. I mean, I love you all. Thank you very much, LaCroix. You're the best. And Shy Snow Leopard. Oh my God. Okay. I'm focusing. I'm getting distracted by all the shit happening. This might be the most I've ever made in one stream, to be honest with you. Well, we'll see. I'll check later and I'll let you guys know. Okay. Anyway, so let's go on, shall we? Let's go on. We already talked a bit about Iran. I feel like there was something else I wanted to mention here. Okay, let me see here. Oh, you know
Hello,
what?
everybody. I'm Maxi.
So this guy, I thought it'd be kind of fun. Maybe I don't want to watch him right now. First of all, he's very attractive. Just a note. Just a note. He's very attractive. And I think he is gay because he did do that one thing about the gay stuff. Thank you guys for the for helping with the hype train there. Let's go on here. It's the secret reason you cannot buy a house. Well, what did I wanted to? I wanted to show you guys something. Oh my God, Louise, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh my God, Louise, you're the best. Okay, you guys are the best. Wow, we really do have a hype train going now. Okay. Dear God. Okay, thank you very much. All right, so let's watch this. This was sent to us a long time ago. Yes, I know you guys. You like the After Darks. We'll do an After Dark, guys. We'll do an After Dark. God damn it. We'll do an After Dark, okay? We'll do an After Dark now. Jesus Christ. Okay. So this video is called The Terrifying Rise of Vice Signaling, and we haven't watched it. It was sent by Jonas a long time ago, like, I don't know, a month ago, but it's still very relevant. And I'm curious to see what it's about. We might not watch the whole thing. It's pretty long, but it is about something called vice signaling, which I guess has become a big deal. So I thought we could watch a little bit of this just for now. Okay, just for now. And then if it gets too long or whatever, we will do something else. I'm going to actually increase the speed though, because it is long. So guys, we are going to have a Jester After Dark now. That we are going to have a Jester After Dark now, which means that probably sometime between 7 and 8, or between 6:30 and 7:30, I'll go live a second time, and we'll do a nice After Dark stream. Maybe I'll drink. Maybe I'll drink something. Maybe we'll have some fun. Okay. Well, maybe we'll listen to some music, watch a little bit of Afroman, do some comedy shit. So that we'll do that now. Okay, that'll be tonight. Maybe I'll have some Guinness. You never know. You never know. I can't promote that on YouTube, but maybe that'll happen. Maybe I'll have some apple cider with me. You'll never know. Okay. All right. So let's watch this. All right.
Brought to you by Incognito. When I was a young buckaroo and I was watching WWE, the idea was you're meant to cheer on the good guys. When Rey Mysterio comes out, and I'd get bloody gassed. And then The Undertaker would come out, and little Jimmy would boo. But no, what a poo. That was the idea,
What
right?
is...
Cheer the good guy, boo the bad guy.
Well, I guess we'll find out what vice signaling is.
The year of our Lord 2026. This dynamic has flipped. From influencers all the way to politicians.
Oh my God. Did you guys see that? I want to... little side note here. Okay.
But no, what a poo. That was the idea, right? Cheer the good guy, boo the bad guy.
Yes, forgive me, Doug. That will be Eastern Standard Time. Between 6:30 and 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we'll start the After Dark.
In the year of our Lord 2026, this dynamic has flipped. From influencers...
Okay. This stereotype right here, first of all, I don't know what the hell is this from. Who the hell is getting on Twitch and doing this? Dolly Boy, oh my God, Dolly Boy, you get a boop. Boop. You know you all get a boop. Matt Saigai, boop. Jonas, boop. LaCroix, boop. Louise, boop. All right, stop. I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm trying to... Okay, thank you very much, Dolly Boy, as always, okay? So this gross stereotype, first of all, this is gross that he has. The second of all, was something interesting. I saw him doing that with his hands. That's an interesting thing. A lot of people do that without even knowing. Sylvie, thank you so much. Oh my God, thank you, Sylvie. A lot of people, when they're trying to pretend to be like a villain, will rub their hands together like this. Okay, I don't really even want to do it. Be like, I am advocating for the conquest of the world. You know what I mean? Okay, and then they'll rub their hands together. Theodore, hello, Theodore. Looking lovely today, Theodore, I'm sure. Okay. Glad to see you here, Theodore, as always. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Does anyone here do that? It's sort of just like built into the culture, the idea of rubbing your hands together when you're like trying to show that you're plotting something. When you're like plotting, you know, like, oh, I'm the bad guy, like that sort of deal. Okay. And it's people don't know this, and it's not like it's openly anti-Semitic, but a practice that a lot of Jewish folks do is before they eat. Before they eat, they will often, like especially Orthodox Jews, will put water on their hands, will pour water on their hands and rub their hands together. It's sort of a ceremonial thing. I know when I worked at a Jewish school, thank you guys, thank you. When I worked at a Jewish school, there were these little containers next to all all the fountains, or all the sinks, so you could rinse off your hands. Okay, so that is a Jewish, sort of an anti-Semitic thing that has become so mainstream in the culture. Like, it's not like people know what that means, but it has become part of our culture that the people who are conniving and like plotting rub their hands together. So it's just something to think about. And if you've done it, it's okay. It's not like you would know that. It's like ingrained in a lot of our culture beliefs. Like, even in a lot of movies, the bad guys will start rubbing their hands together, especially in like cartoon versions of this. But that's sort of a anti-Semitic thing that's kind of ingrained in our culture. There's even some so anyway, you can see this guy is doing it as sort of an anti-Semitic trope. It's just a note, okay?
All the way to politicians.
Do you stand by that claim of calling Tim Walz retarded?
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with
Yeah,
it.
Sylvie.
Sure.
Celebrities, and slowly, even companies. It feels like being cruel is vogue.
Oh, God.
You think Hitler was very fucking cool?
Yes.
From now on, it's
He's so gay. He's such a sub-bottom. You can tell. Look at those eyes. He can't even like look at you straight in the face. He just wants. Anyway, I'm sorry.
what up, my Nazi?
And it's this right here, which is a fundamental moral shift of the Western world. So for us to unpack and understand what is going on, we need to...
Matt Saigai, correct. It's not only a Jewish thing, but it's mainly the stereotype comes from anti-Semitic beliefs about Jewish people. Let's put it that way, okay?
Dive deep into the rise of vice signaling.
No one can stop what is coming. We execute what we just said.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so a few years ago, back when I was a spicy centrist, I made a video called How Virtue Signaling is Collapsing Society. And I was pretty guilty of doing the whole, both sides are bad kind of thing. But the core point was that virtue signaling had become this big focal point. And it's important to understand this because it really rose to prominence as a term somewhere in like the mid-2010s. And it itself has roots in two similar terms. Expressions like champagne socialist.
No, I know. That I literally, look, well, I'm almost certain Nick Fuentes is gay. Hasn't he been wasn't he caught like doing a wasn't he on a date with like a cat boy or something, and like wasn't it revealed that I don't know, like, okay.
And an older, kind of forgotten term, radical chic.
Controversial, cynical,
Devastating,
outlandish, masterpiece, witty, powerful, complex, absolutely fascinating.
Right, in the 70s, you have this journalist, and his name is Tom Wolfe, and he publishes an essay called Radical Chic, That Party at Lenny's. And this article is based on a real event, right? So, in this luxury apartment in Manhattan, the famous...
Mauser, the answer is assholes.
Composer Leonard Bernstein and his wife hosted a fundraising party for the Black Panthers.
Lurking
so Tom
snow
Wolfe
leopard.
Invited,
Meow?
he's one of the guests, but instead of getting involved, hitting the Dougie and chirps and Gyal, instead, he quietly sits back and judges everyone.
For example, does that huge Black Panther there in the hallway, the one shaking hands with Felicia Bernstein herself, the one with the black leather coat and the dark glasses and the absolutely unbelievable afro.
What are we talking about?
He described the fundraiser as just wealthy liberal elites sipping cocktails. Meanwhile, there was armed Black Panthers sat around awkwardly, kind of like just the decoration. Or at least that's how he portrayed it. And this is interesting, right? His critique wasn't really about the politics itself, but more so about what he saw as moral posturing from wealthy people. The critique he was making was that for the Bernsteins, there was no sacrifice required. And actually, if anything, they gained from it. They gained social status for looking radical.
You cannot.
Yes, guys, it's all okay. Yeah, this is true. We've talked about this, right? The elites or the powerful will often do only like. Come on, we know this. We know this. Hello, Brucey. So glad you're here. We know this. They do this all the time. That's like when Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats put the kente cloth on and kneeled after the murder of George Floyd. It's all like smoke and mirrors. It's all it benefits them, but it doesn't actually help anything. Okay.
I'd say that the Bernsteins or the other people who've given parties of this are insincere. They do care about the great work. They do care about
celebrities, same thing, Jonas.
Panthers. They even care about the ocelots and the Somali leopards. Although they tend to lump them all together.
Now, this critique can be very legitimate because it kind of captures the image that genuine, real political causes can be turned kind of into like an aesthetic and just performed, particularly by people it doesn't truly affect. But you see, there was an irony to what Tom was saying, because whilst Tom Wolfe is critiquing this, he kind of, you know, de facto positions himself as the truth-telling, bold, brave man, exposing liberal hypocrisy. The essay becomes famous. Tom profits massively from it. The term radical chic enters common parlance. Tom Wolfe's brand grows. Meanwhile, the Black Panthers fade into the background. The man that was pointing out the use of radical politics to gain social status, ironically became one of the most successful people to ever do exactly that.
Of course!
Before we go any further with today's video, I've been using today's sponsor, Incognito.
All right, Incognito, moving on, whatever going on here.
Take your personal data back with Incognito. Anyway.
Yes, Lacroix. Remember, this is what we said, guys. I talked about this yesterday. So Lacroix says capitalism eventually subsumes everything, including radical politics. I did a stream on this a long time ago. Malzord remembers. Well, Doug remember. A lot of the people in here remember it, where I talked about repressive desublimation. I know that's, by the way, I'll pull that out on a date. If you want to impress your date, just be like, hey, do you know what repressive desublimation is? Okay, maybe not on the first date. I don't know. Okay, anyway, but that's where the capitalist system takes things that are rebellious or anti the system and integrates them into the system, which then they lose their power. Okay, so that's what capitalism does. It consumes everything that is anti-capitalist and makes it part of capitalism. I think so that's what that is. Okay, I think you have said this exact sentence before. I think I have, Retro Asher. I did that. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Guys, what if we just ask capitalism to stop? Sir Bartholomew is a communist. Okay. So have we tried that? Right. So yeah, exactly. Great stuff. So it's just true. That's Herbert Marcuse was the academic who came up with that idea of repressive desublimation. We see it all the time.
Back to the video. What we're seeing from both Tom Wolfe and Leonard Bernstein is that whether they meant it or not, these two powerful, wealthy individuals managed to shift the political focus of the Black Panthers movement away from the Black Panthers.
Sylvie is a socialist. I love that, Sylvie.
Onto themselves. And this kind of thing happens a lot. Like, this isn't just simply, you know, wealthy people being egotistical. This is a structural thing. You see it with the hippies, right? In the beginning, it was young people creating literal communes, going off-grid, rejecting American consumerism. Jump forward, you know, 10 years, and suddenly it's celebrity musicians with charts.
Exactly! He's talking about the thing. He's talking about
smashing music. It's mainstream clothing lines. It's Coca-Cola saying that they're going to kill the world if everyone just fucking drinks some Coke. Radical politics very often gets pulled very far away from the people who it's meant to serve. Theorists call this reification. Real material struggles are turned into objects. They become stories, images,
commodities,
aesthetics. They become like a thing. Then over time, right, as more and more people become aware of it, eventually...
He's not using like the actual language for these things, but probably because he's trying to speak to a bigger audience, but he's referring to commodities, commodification. Okay.
Yeah, the wealthy elite will maybe adopt some of its language and maybe some of its aesthetic. Radical politics turns into a kind of like cultural capital. A person's engagement with it can be a way of signaling to other people your morality or your taste. You know, that you've got your ear to the ground, you're in the know. But these wealthy elites engage with it in a way that never truly challenges their material power. Then as time goes past and it increasingly seems inauthentic, someone will come along to critique it, you know, a kind of truth teller. Usually also someone who might be of a wealthy, privileged background. They come along and they expose the hypocrisy. But structurally, it does the exact same thing. In both situations, attention strips away from the cause itself. First to performance, then to critique, until the original cause fades into the background.
Also, virtue signaling, which is a completely new thing, where you can publicly display your disdain for someone who steps outside the lines, and therefore you supposedly boost your social cred.
And I think it's this situation that is what we saw play out in the late 2010s to early 2020.
I will say, guys, I'm slightly biased when I say this. Because of what I do, right? Because I'm a streamer and stuff. There is a difference, though, because, you know, there is a difference between, like, virtue signaling and doing education or advocacy, right? Like, just to be clear, just because you've publicly state that you believe in something, you see what I mean? Exactly, clown signaling. How dare you, Paul Squall? It has to be sort of, it has to not be for the, you know, see what I mean? For a lot of the folks out there, they just do it to be virtue signaling. They don't actually do anything about it. You see what I mean? I guess I'm kind of defending myself here a little bit. You see what I'm... Okay, you guys know what I'm saying, right? I hope.
Rejecting wokeism and progressivism, that became mainstream.
Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch.
It's really worth being clear up front, right? Movements like Black Lives Matter, Me Too, trans rights, etc. These are real situations that affected real people who had genuine, real harm coming their way. And at its peak, they managed to generate major public support for these causes. They massively raised awareness and brought these topics into cultural consciousness. The problem wasn't with the causes themselves. The problem is what happened once those causes started to get absorbed into that mainstream, powerful, institutional apparatus. God, that sounded smart. They started to use these causes symbolically. It would come out with these, nice sound.
Yes. Oh my God, guys. One of the things that annoys me, like how big companies will start, for example, for the gays out there, for the LGBTQ folks out there, for the bis, lesbians, all the folks out there, trans people. Have we noticed how, like, if you've ever been to a gay pride parade, that, like, I swear, the one in Columbus that I go to is pretty big. Like, half of the floats these days are like banks. Like, I got, like, the last pride parade I went to, which was a while ago, I got a little flag that had a Wells Fargo logo over a rainbow flag. Yeah, kind of, Paul Squall. Gay Pride brought to you by Raytheon. And it's all just like signaling. Yeah, exactly, Loqual. I don't go to these things anymore at all. I don't go to any of these anymore because they're just corporate clown shows at this point, okay? I'm not exaggerating, Brucey. That's literally what happens at Pride these days. It's typically mainly just big corporate entities. Yep. Oh, yeah, Brucey. They hand out Wells Fargo Pride flags. It's all just, okay, and it means nothing. It means nothing. And to be clear, guys, like trans folks and gay guys or whatever the case, they have high rates of homelessness. Do we think the banks are doing anything to actually help them by perhaps trying to end homelessness, for example? No, they're not doing anything material to help anyone. It's all just signaling. It is nothing. It means nothing. Okay. All right.
In statements, selling you products branded in these campaigns, and occasional small symbolic gestures rather than deep, meaningful change. So what started to happen, right, and this is where a disconnect began, was whilst general society was seeing real...
Yeah, Sylvie, kind of though, right? They do that sort of shit. Imagine Blackwater tweeting trans rights or human rights. That's kind of the shit they do. Do we remember when the CIA released that ad, showing? She's like, I'm a gay Latina woman, and I work for the CIA. Like, okay, I don't really care. Okay, it's like, okay, yeah, I just gross. Okay.
Material challenges in their life. Most of the big fucking powerful people in society were not really giving a shit about that, and largely they remained unaddressed. And you can really see like an imbalance in like media attention itself. I did a rather unscientific Google trend search chart here, but it kind of shows you like major cultural flashpoints where you see big spikes on these topics, and that means that there was massive coverage all around the world. So when you type in terms like BLM, Me Too, racism, transgender, and then a term like inequality, what you kind of see is there were major spikes in a lot of these topics that made them these massive, all-encompassing stories that dominated the media. Meanwhile, inequality, the one that affects everyone, is kind of backseated, right? It never breaks through. And in that moment, it would be very fair to critique the politicians, the media, the big brands, the celebrities for symbolically using social justice movements to kind of seem like they're good people.
Thank you, Mecha Kind. We've actually watched that song before. The 1969 Woodstock song there. But thank you, okay? And I can't show it on stream anyway because it's copyrighted, but
That is a fair critique. However, what if some slippery dude bro comes along and nuzzles up to your ear and whispers, it's the trans, right? It's the chase, the Black Lives Matter, right? They care about the woke vaccines, right? What we saw were reactionary characters who jumped on the opportunity at critiquing the powerful and their empty, hollow gestures, but instead of using that moment to critique institutions and the very nature of power itself and to demand real material change for people, instead they started to focus their critiques on a certain type of person.
You know what woke means? It means you're a loser. Everything woke turns to shit, okay?
We will never, ever surrender to the woke mob. Florida is where woke goes to die.
Guys, notice
slowly they start to take...
Remember how when the fascism takes its enemies and it presents them as both very powerful and very weak at the same time? It's a fundamental contradiction. So think about that. Trump is saying that the wokeness are like losers and shit are, that people who are woke are losers. At the same time, the right wing says woke is controlling everything and it's everywhere and it's this big, terrible threat. You see how that's kind of a contradiction? It's just interesting. How there's always that weird contradiction in fascist scapegoating.
The language, the causes, and the morals that these people were talking about, and paint all people with concerns on those topics as a kind of like out-group. Once you equate a genuine activist who goes out dedicating their lives, their time to helping people who are marginalized and treating bad as the exact same thing as Pepsi solving police brutality by giving someone a Pepsi. Once you equate those
Oh my God, I hate that commercial. Have you guys seen that commercial? Oh my God, I hate it. I hate it so much. And everyone loved it. It was such like that was that when that what was that? Was that during a Super Bowl or some shit when that commercial came out and like all the libs were just like shitting themselves in joy and we're just like, "Oh my God, it's an amazing commercial. Look at this Pepsi commercial. This is such a great Pepsi commercial," right? I can like libs love this sort of shit, guys. It makes me want to lose my goddamn mind. Yeah, no, like, J-Mac, right, I'm just pissed because that commercial ended racism. Right, J-Mac, okay. Yeah, racism defeated by Pepsi. Well, yeah, oh my God, I hate it. I know I don't mean to be an asshole, but, like, have we s like, there and if you're one of these people, I love you, you're the best. I'm just saying, how, like, during the Super Bowls, so many people like watching the Super Bowls, and they say it's because they like the commercials. Okay, it makes me want to lose my mind that a lot of people like watching the Super Bowl just because they like to watch the corporate commercials trying to brainwash them. Um, and like oftentimes during the Super Bowl, a lot of the commercials are in fact do things like this. Like you guys know what I mean, right? A lot of those commercials are all like make new friends, but keep the old one, like kind of like real happy shit. I can't stand it. Anyway, yeah, good, J-Mac. I'm glad you watched for the game, but there were a lot of people, and I know some of them, who are like, I just watched the Super Bowl because of the ads. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay, anyway, I love you all. If you do it, I do hate happiness, Brucey. Okay, I love you all. I'm just saying, it makes me want to go crazy, but all right.
Things as the same as all of it being empty virtue signaling, and that those topics, those things are their things. Rejecting that becomes a way of signaling who you are. From the resentment of those things starts to develop.
Oh, remember this guy who went into the goddamn Targets? Imagine how pathetic you would have to be to go into a Target just to harass a Target for having shirts like that, even though like Target isn't actually woke. It doesn't actually care. They are like buying into the performance. This is all performance. It's all performance.
Own identity. So a reaction to the woke becomes the anti-woke. And very quickly, you find yourself in an us versus them dynamic.
Today, we're going to talk about the rise and fall of rainbow capitalism, the history of the commodification of queer identity, what it says about our culture.
Guys, I have really liked a lot of what Taylor Lorenz has come out with. Why do people not like her? I'm seriously asking. I've heard a lot of people don't like Taylor Lorenz. What about her do people not like? Is there something I don't know about her? Like all the stuff I've seen of her, I've really liked. But I know there's a lot of people that don't like her. Does anyone know? It doesn't really matter. If you have a reason you don't like her, tell me. I'm just curious.
Our economy and why this year everything has gone so beige.
Here's the thing, right? If you asked in that period of time any left-wing person to critique corporate woke washing, they would have been there with you. They would have said, yes, obviously, it's dumb, right? Leftists created the term rainbow.
Oh, that actually might be honest. It might be because she's a woman or because she's associated with Hassan, as Lacroix said.
Capitalism, basically, to describe exactly that. They've always been against.
That's a fair reason, then, Sylvie. If it's because of some of her work, then I get that.
Formative virtue. But what you have to bear in mind is that conversation was rarely had, and it's because the media ecosystem of reactionary creators, they are very powerful and very.
Yeah, have you guys seen this chart? I've seen this before. This is a really interesting study by Media Matters that shows, look at how much money, or how large the followings are of all these political shows. Notice that the right wings all the right wings big shows, which are the red ones, are so much larger. The left wing, or not even left wing, the left leaning shows are so much smaller in terms of followers. The right wing is so much more powerful on the internet when it comes to all these shows. Paul Squad, it is possible that a lot of these numbers are bots. That's very true. Regardless, that's a lot. Okay.
Very well funded. There's massive major networks, incredibly large sums of money went into controlling the narrative with the objective of painting the entire left as this amorphous blob who are all on one team, all in complete agreement and alignment. And importantly, it's a team.
What do you want, Matt Saga? Why'd you say my name? Why?
Team that you are not on. And not only that, they actively hate you.
We're under invasion from within. No different than a foreign enemy, but more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms. At least when they're wearing a uniform, you can take them out. These people don't have uniforms.
And for us to understand this sort of us versus them dynamic, there's some really important psychology that is at play. And it explains why this sort of thing happens continuously throughout history. So as you're probably aware, humans, we're sociable creatures. Despite what the Sigma males will tell you, we love squadding up. For most of our evolutionary history, if you were part of a gang, you ate. If you weren't, you died. And that's because, you know, for most of history, resources were scarce. So our brains developed the function of protecting our tribe. Tribalism.
Correct. Oh, well, he knows his shit. This is true. This is evolutionary psychology, which I think is super interesting.
A really important hormone, right, that's involved in this, and that is oxytocin.
Oxytocin.
You might know it as that love hormone, you know, that love juice. Basically, it's a bonding chemical. It's released when parents bond with children, and people fall in love when you hit 99 woodcutting on RuneScape. But the thing about oxytocin, right, it doesn't just give you warmth and trust. In a series of experiments done by Dutch researchers, participants were given oxytocin and then asked to make moral decisions.
I know, Matt. It's like that Media Matters is it does a lot of good work.
One of the decisions was the classic moral dilemma. It's sometimes known as like the train track problem. You know, you're presented with a choice. You have a train, it's traveling, it's going to hit some people.
Correct,
if you do nothing, multiple people will die.
Yes.
Or you could choose to do something, killing one person and saving more people. But what these researchers did was give it a
Yeah, you're welcome, Dolly Boy.
twist, right? They varied who.
Sorry, guys. LaCroix here says Target threw marginalized people under the bus once it wasn't popular anymore. I haven't given them a single cent since they caved to the right. Yeah, I know. Weak. They're weak. And if they change their tune again, they aren't gonna win me back. And I'm not the only person. Excellent, LaCroix.
On the track. Sometimes it was someone from the participants' in-group. In this case, that was Dutch people. Sometimes it was from someone who was clearly marked as an out-group. Sometimes it was Germans, and other times it was Arabs. And the result showed something kind of disturbing. People were more willing to sacrifice the person who appeared as an outsider.
Yep. Great.
And that is scary, right?
That's one of the issues with humanity. We like to tribalize. Okay.
Because if you were just to stop thinking and just stop your analysis right there, a person could claim, look, we're biologically racist. Maybe if it's just nature, why should we fight it? And that is exactly where far-right and fascist ideology comes from. This is what can be called biological determinism. Your biology, your natural instincts determine outcomes. So they claim it's logical to follow it. But the important question you have to ask is, how are in-groups defined? And who defines
Yes. He actually is not fully understanding how that fascist biological determinism. I am partially a determinist in terms of I don't necessarily believe in free will. Racial determinism is not the same thing. That is pseudoscience. Okay, that's what the Nazis believed in. Okay, they were very much about like racial determinism. That race is biological. Kind of. They kind of use whatever excuse they could think of to support the racial ideas, which is not scientific and has no basis in reality, because race is a construct. So he's kind of wrong by saying that biological determinism is what the Nazis did. No, that is there. It's a different concept, but okay.
It might be interesting to judge people today by the color of their eyes. Since I'm the teacher and I have blue eyes, I think maybe the blue-eyed people should be on top the first
Mr.
day.
Kincaid.
I don't see the yardstick view.
What's the problem over there? Hey, Mr. Like, you better keep that on your desk. Look up front, I can get out of hand.
So yeah, in some versions of the experiment, in-group membership lined up with things like nationality, ethnicity. But in many other instances of this kind of experiment and study, instead of ethnicity and nationality, they gave people arbitrary group markers. If there is someone on that train...
So guys, I'm sorry. I feel like he's making this more complicated than it needs to be. Yes, human beings sort of have a natural instinct to tribalize. We have a limited ability to form connections with certain numbers of people. Okay, so when we start getting outside of certain numbers of people, we have trouble. It becomes harder to form close enough connections to them that we feel connected to them. Okay. And then anyone outside of that group that we have connections to, we tend to start demonizing or not trusting. But this is not natural. Race is not, it's not inherent to race. We can demonize each other in all kinds of ways. Race historically has been easier to do that with because it is visible. Skin color is something you can see, right? So it's pretty easy to convince people to not like a certain group of people if you can just look at them and be like, oh, they look different than me, they scary. So that becomes an easier way to do this disconnection. Correct, Brucey. There's also caste. Caste is not necessarily on racial lines, and it's still in-group, out-group shit, okay? It's still in-group, out-group shit. Or we could talk about in the Roman Empire, they had an in-group, out-group idea, but it wasn't based off race. It was based off Roman and not Roman. You're either Roman or you're a dirty barbarian, okay? That wasn't racialized. So this is why, so yes, tribalization can be sort of an inherent human thing, but racial tribalization is not. That is a choice. That is a social choice that we've made, okay? Anyway, and it's constructed.
With a different skin color to you. However, they're wearing your favorite football team's hat, or maybe even they just have the same t-shirt color as you. Suddenly and measurably, your brain responds differently. They are no longer processed as being a them. They are treated as one of us.
Right,
and this really is where I find it interesting in analyzing the confusing contradiction of the modern far right. People like Tommy Robinson, right? Often one of the biggest offenses Tommy Robinson.
Yes, it is, Matt Saigai. There are racial sort of, like within the Hindu caste system, there are some racial ideas, right? Some colorism, but caste does not have to be racial, you know, across the globe in different times and places. Yeah.
Make as to why he's not racist is because he always bangs on about his Jamaican and Sikh friends, right? He has multicultural groups of friends.
I've spent the last 6-7 years forming relationships with Sikhs across the country.
Or guys, real fast, sorry to cut us off. I can give you another example. In Europe, during the 30 Years' War, the divide there was between Calvinist, Lutheran, and Catholic. Your religion is what determined the tribalization, okay? So, and they were all white.
We couldn't ask, and no one could ask for a better minority group, a more loyal, a more patriotic, a more hardworking group of people.
But what's happened here is just the in-group markers have changed. What he considers integrated immigrants are in his in-group. And what has happened is that in-group has selected Muslims and refugees as the out-group. And that's the thing about the ideas about biological determinism. The people who say that ethnic in-group and out-group is natural and therefore...
Okay, I agree with him. I didn't know he was going to say all that. He's making it a bit more... My inner teacher is like, he needs to just say it and stop like taking so long to say it. Like, I said it in like 4 sentences, and he's like going on and on about it.
We should follow that. They ignore the fact that the whole point of society is built to overcome our biological instincts. If we lived by raw biology, we wouldn't look after disabled people. We wouldn't adopt children. Nepotism would just be the norm. Violence, for any reason, would be legal. Law wouldn't exist. What biology gives us is tendencies. Society decides on which ones to reinforce, which ones to attempt to restrain, and which ones to redirect. That is the key point. These experiments do not show that racism is inevitable. They show us that in-group, out-group tendencies exist, and they are socially constructed, and they are incredibly flexible based on very arbitrary reasons such as t-shirt color and football team. However, that is also a problem, right? If the boundaries are very flexible, then whoever is the person with the loudest, the most powerful voice, who has their hands on the biggest microphones with the biggest audience, they get to decide who is the out-group.
But equally importantly, we're cracking down on more than $19 billion in fraud that was stolen by Somalian bandits. Can you believe that Somalia? They turned out to be higher IQ than we thought.
Yo, Sam, chill out, please. You chill out, Retro Asher. Bonk. Retro Asher gets a bonk. You don't tell me to chill out, Retro Asher. I am completely, chill. All right. Am I a utilitarian, Sam? I don't know, Matt Saigai. I don't know about that. I don't know. Maybe. I guess, kind of. We would talk about it.
You've probably heard the parable, right? With the red ants and the black ants. Put them in the jar, they get along. Shake the jar and they all start killing each other.
Couldn't Roman and not Roman? Also, race is stupid, but race generally includes the idea that we are from here. Yes, Mr. Kincaid, you're absolutely right, Mr. Kincaid. You're actually outsmarting me, Mr. Kincaid. The Romans did have an idea of race, but it wasn't based off skin color. I should frame it that way, okay? Skin color is the easiest way to do racialization and tribalization. The Romans' concept of race was Roman or not Roman. You were not the Roman race, you were the barbarian race. It wasn't based off skin color. I see what you're saying, Mr. Kincaid. I could frame it differently.
This phenomena seems to map onto lots of academic research. Realistic group conflict theory, integrated threat theory, uncertainty identity theory. And the findings are pretty consistent. When people feel economically insecure or socially unstable, they cling very hard onto group identity. And they often become more hostile to the other. This really helps us to understand why figures like Tommy Robinson and Nigel Farage were considered very, very fringe in the 2000s. If anything, they were the outgroup. Everyone hated them. And that's because in the 2000s, you know, life was good.
Correct.
We were getting regular GTA releases. David Beckham was scoring screamers. Things were pretty good. But then, you know, after the financial crash, years of austerity, stagnation, a global pandemic, global conflicts popping up, things just feel less stable. People start feeling increasingly anxious and they start looking for explanations. So when you have someone who points out and says, there are enemy groups and they are the reason why you're struggling, suddenly that story starts to stick. Once the woke and the progressives are framed as the enemy, people don't just reject them. They reject the morality that is associated with them. And they form a counter identity instead. An identity whose values aren't solidarity, dignity, and shared improvement, but instead you get a reactionary inversion, resentment, aggression, exclusion, and isolation. And it's there where we see the beginning of vice signaling.
Okay, so now we're getting to what vice
I'm on my villain arc, okay? Sometimes you gotta be the villain. Epstein's my boy, dude. Let's just be honest.
What the hell? Is he Netanyahu? Remember what Netanyahu said about Jesus and Genghis Khan? That's kind of like, anyway.
Epstein
I guess it makes sense. He is a Nazi, and so is Netanyahu.
Cool as fuck. There, I said it. What are you gonna do? Go ahead, cancel me.
It's basically just doing shit.
I'm sorry, what? Did he say Epstein is... What did he just say? Did he... I'm sorry, what? I mean, I'm not surprised if he said what I thought he said.
Epstein's my boy, dude. Let's just be honest. Epstein was cool as fuck. There, I said it. What are you gonna do? Go ahead, cancel me.
It's basically just doing shitty things to look tough, to win other people's approval. It comes along as an adaptive response to a specific political and media environment. When people repeatedly see big moral claims, symbolic gestures, emotional appeals used by powerful institutions, but they don't see these big grand claims translating into like improvements materially in their life. So they start to lose trust in that moral language and they start to become skeptical. And in fact, the use of moral language becomes a cultural signal for an opposing group. Once morality is now culturally coded as being their thing, performatively rejecting it becomes a new form of group loyalty. This is what vice signaling is, right? It's group positioning. It's showing to other people.
And guys, the other problem here, guys, is that when you do this, so in fascism, in lots of different situations, if you give the impression that your group is under siege, that group will have greater group cohesion and loyalty. So you have to, under fascism, constantly give your loyal audience the idea that they're threatened and they're under siege, because that fear makes them more loyal to the in-group and more frightful of the out-group, okay? So you constantly have to do that. And one of the things that happens in this scenario with the vice signaling is that it increases the sense of being under siege. So, for example, when, thank you, Matt Saigai, when Piers Morgan, what was it? He ate meat or something, whatever he was showing. Okay. Or let's say Elon Musk, when Elon Musk did the Nazi salute and everyone went after him, you can bet that made a lot of his followers who were defending him feel even more under siege. Okay. Even though he prompted the attack on him, all these people started going after them for him for doing that, which then made all his followers feel more threatened and under siege. And same thing with, you're right, Israel. Israel does that, right? Okay, so thank you very much for that, Matt Saigai.
People, look, I'm not one of them. I don't speak their language. I don't play their moral games. And they do this by signaling edgy beliefs and using edgy language. Like, one very basic, specific example is the use of the word retard. People seem very proud that one's come back. They sort of say it sometimes, and they expect you to go, fucking hell, bro. You don't give a fuck, man.
Do you stand?
Yeah. I think I used that one time on stream once, and then I never wanted to do it again. But I don't know. The R word has been coming back. Well, I don't know if I really want to talk about it. We'll just keep listening.
By that claim of calling Tim Walz retarded?
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with him. Absolutely, sure.
And partly the kind of ideas behind vice signaling is to show that you perceive the virtue signaling of other people to be inauthentic, and actually you're very authentic.
I mean, do you think you're the best person, Nick Fuentes, to lecture people about performative cruelty?
Why, are you accusing me of being cruel? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
How am I cruel?
You're cruel about black people. You're cruel about women. You're cruel about a lot of people, and you're very performative.
Okay. I don't think I'm performative. If anything, everyone else is performative. I'm authentic. You know, whatever you want to say about me, it's real. It's from the gut.
This is what we see in the origins of the term based. It's kind of used by everyone now, but for a period of time, it was really meant to signal, I'm like real as they come, bruh. I'm based in truth, right? Authentic. And in a system that is perceived to be saturated with performative virtue, cruelty can often be read as
Thank you,
sincerity.
Matt Saigai.
You're not
Thank you
trying
for
to
the
show anyone that
contribution.
you're a good person. The opposite.
Really,
this is how you get to a point where you have this guy on a microphone celebrating the death of Renee Nicole Good by an ICE agent on camera for the whole world to see.
And all you liberal commie motherfuckers, put your hands to yourself. You're gonna get hurt today, all right? We executed one of you yesterday. We executed one of you yesterday.
This to me seems like someone who is very deep into this identity group. That in their mind, they've got to a point where they've stopped seeing humanity and they are purely just performing to be approved by their group. Now, whilst this happens on a social level, you see it in like the Rogan sphere comedy.
Does a lot of this have to do with the algorithm, folks? Like, you know, if I were on stream right now yelling the R word a whole bunch, I would probably get a lot more people watching me. I mean, right? You'd probably get more people coming in here. They'd think it was funny. We could even I could even make I'm just thinking I'm trying to think like a streamer would think. Okay, so allow me to do my business acumen here. Like I'd get all the degens in here, right? And then, but of course, yes, but guys, yes, elevator lady. But if I were to get the if that were to happen, if more people were to come in here, even if they were degens, that would increase the people that would come in here even more. So, you know, if you start getting more engagement in your streams, that will increase the number of people who see your streams, right? So it's okay if you get, it doesn't matter where the engagement comes from. So yeah, and so there's all these problems. We have these big companies that create these algorithms that enable this behavior. Yeah, and it's very, very difficult. I'm just trying to think I'm not going to do that, obviously, guys. I'm not saying I want to do that. I'm just trying to think how these streamers are thinking and trying to think of it from a monetary perspective, right? And that's very much enabled. So the whole system is set up to do this.
Austin comedy scene.
Jesus Christ.
Way to ruin the whole
Take your New York liberal fatty bullshit back with you.
Banning RGB competition.
Jesus Christ. Virtue signaling on
Sylvie.
this show. How dare you, sir?
He probably did kill Tony in 2014. What do you call a black doctor? Nothing. There are no black doctors. The kill Tony fucking mongoloids are like, yeah! Yeah! Say the N-word!
Yes, Paul Squall. Actual dark woke is against terms of service. But I'm saying here, well, people like Kyle Kalinske do some things that are not things that I want to do. Okay, he uses the R word, and he's posted things before that are pretty, okay. It's just I have to look more into it. I'm curious.
Incredible.
But eventually, right, it moves from the social level. And in the same way that virtue signaling ended up being commodified by the powerful, so too vice signaling is landing in the hands of the powerful.
Written by a nice reporter. Now the poor guy.
I try to vice signal, or I try to do this without. Well, okay.
I don't know what I said.
I try not to go too crazy with it. Let's put it that way.
I don't remember.
Yes, which is what I try to do.
You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab him by the pussy.
I would bomb the out of them.
And I say, why is it we only take people from whole countries?
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody, and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay?
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. I would bring back waterboarding, and I'd bring back a hell of a lot worse than waterboarding. Are you stupid?
Jesus.
Are you a stupid person?
Obviously, a large part of Trump's appeal was vice signaling. These original controversies, whilst assumed they would kill Trump's career, did the opposite. It bolstered support for Trump because it made him seem real for rejecting the morality of the liberal elite. But as time goes past and Trump takes more and more political power, the same performative nature happens, and it results in official American government social media accounts just posting basically neo-Nazi shit, ASMR deportation videos. It resulted in Trump cutting US aid, literally money that was helping the most vulnerable people on Earth. It resulted in Elon Musk coming in and cutting things like pediatric care, cancer research for children. Despite Elon Musk's Doge saving basically no money and only making normal people's lives worse, part of it was just to signal that they rejected all of the woke things that progress.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if that was just a signal that they rejected the woke stuff. I think a lot of it is, no, you're right, outer signal. I'm not going to, but I'm never going to do that. I was just trying to think, because you're a YouTuber too, outer signal. I'm not trying to put words in outer signal's mouth, but I'm sure outer signal, well, I won't even say outer signal. I don't know what's in outer signal's mind, but as someone who's on YouTube, etc., sometimes you think these ways where you're like, how do I increase the size of the community? And why do some YouTubers and Twitch people do things they do, and how does it help increase the size of their community so that I can profit off of it? Not profit. I'm not a capitalist here, but you know what I mean. I'm a human being. I want to make more money on here so I can survive doing it. And so I think that there is for a lot of them an incentive to do these things, right? And I'm not gonna do those things, but that's also an issue. Yeah, you know it, outer signal. It's like there's almost a temptation when that's what they've set up with the algorithm. Like, yeah, it makes it a lot harder on people who don't want to do that. What was I about to say here? Oh, I don't know. He's saying that a lot of the things that the Trump administration has done, like cutting aid and stuff, is because they want to do vice signaling. I don't know. I feel like the vice signaling does also cover for racism. It is actual real racism a lot of the times too. Racism, classism, this sort of this sort of fascist love of the struggle and the thought of social Darwinism that if you're too weak to survive, you should die, kind of a thing. I think like cutting off aid to foreign countries is partially that. It's partially a racist idea. It's partially a nationalist idea. It's not necessarily just because of the vice signaling. The vice signaling can be used as an excuse for it. Um, you see what I mean? I don't know. Just something to think about. I don't know if that's fully just because of the vice signaling.
Cared about.
Renee Nicole Good died being a nigger lover. She died
Yeah,
because
yeah,
she
exactly,
wanted to
Lacroix. You
protect who
claim
were
that you're doing it to vice signal against the left or liberals, but it's actually just you're a horrible person. Okay. Yeah, there you go, Sylvie. They use the vice signaling as a smokescreen. Yeah, Grindcar flood the zone taught them to go harder than ever with the. Oh, absolutely, Grindcar, 100%. Okay.
piss on her if she was on fire. Anybody saying that she didn't try to run him over, you're a lover. Thank you.
Over here in Britain, the Labour government announced they're going to confiscate jewellery off of refugees. We banned trans women from using women's toilets. A while ago, Robert Jenrick walked into like asylum refugee processing facilities and saw that they had nice hand-painted cartoons that the staff had painted to make the refugee children feel more comfortable. He told them to get rid of it because he wanted to make it a hostile environment.
That was such a gratuitous act of cruelty against some of those vulnerable.
Yeah, no, I agree with this guy. What he's saying, that's just cruelty. I mean, these people are monsters. They want to torture these people, right? They find joy in making these people suffer. That's what they do. They're like Nazi concentration camp guards. I don't know what else to say. I think a lot of them do get joy out of making these people suffer. Okay, I really do. Matt Saigai also thanks for using the word social Darwinism. Have you seen others? Yeah. Oh my God, Matt Saigai. Don't even get me started. Like that's something. Yeah. Absolutely. That is, by the way, social Darwinism, guys, is completely unrelated to Darwin or evolution. It is a pseudoscientific idea, but oftentimes right wingers and stuff, and even liberals back during the era of eugenics would claim that sterilizing people and stuff was some sort of survival of the fittest crap. It's not. Okay, that's not how that works evolutionarily. Anyway. Yeah, I got what you meant, Matt Saigai.
In the world, and if you think that is your route to advancement,
yeah, exactly,
I think something about
absolutely.
All of these actions do not fix anything, right? We can agree, even if people agree with this somehow, materially, nothing in your life will improve from any of these actions.
The public doesn't want cruelty. The public doesn't want callousness when it comes to asylum and immigration.
Can I say, okay, I'm going to be dark woke here. No, it's not dark woke. Okay, I do want to say something when it comes to genetics. Okay, this is weird to say. All right, I'm going to say it. I don't give a shit. Given what Matt Saigai said. Technically, guys, what you want in evolution, is adaptability and diversity. Because the species that are the best at adapting to changing conditions and adapting to their environment are the ones that tend to survive the longest, okay? So what you actually want, if you're talking about reproduction, let's say of the human species, you want human beings to reproduce with, no, it's not eugenics, okay? With not a hot take, it's just reality. You want human beings to reproduce with as diverse a number of other human beings as possible, because you want genetic diversity. You want mutations that allow human beings to adapt to different environments. You don't do that if you do genetic homogeneity. Okay, I always made the joke, guys, if we were like in Nazi Germany after the third generation, okay, like the first generation would have been sticking their arms out, Heil Hitler. The second generation would have been like, Heil Hitler. And then the third generation probably couldn't even raise their arms enough to do it because they would have been so inbred and so incapable of adapting to their environments. But anyway, my point, so it's complete bullshit. The idea of Anyway, you want diversity in your gene pool, all right? That's just a fact, like according to evolution. And obviously, we don't even have to. I'm not even saying that we need to promote that. It's weird to even try and breed humans in that way and be like, we should breed in a diverse way. No, I'm just saying it's just bullshit. Like the whole Nazi breeding argument, a lot of the right wing breeding arguments. That's not how that works. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Fair system. They want people to be treated humanely. They just want the system managed properly. They want it regulated properly. They want the numbers to be modest and manageable. And personally, I think the painting should be redone.
In fact, some of these things will actually actively make your life.
Yeah, exactly, Meowzord. We're all white and alpha, really mogging hard, but whoopsie, we're now totally immunocompromised to this one virus. Exactly, Meowzord. Yeah, and after like the sixth generation, everyone has the Habsburg chin. For those who don't know what I'm referring to, the Habsburgs were a royal family from Europe. Okay. And they inbred so much that after every generation, their chins got longer and longer and longer to the point where it was a real severe handicap for a lot of them. I'm going to see if I can find the best picture of one of there it is. Look at that. Oh, wow. That's what inbreeding does to you, folks. Look at that chin on that guy. Okay. Bye-bye, Mayflower Kid. Enjoy yourself. So anyway, okay, that's, so there you go. Thank you very much. Mayflower Kid for that. Moving on. All right.
Worse. But that's not the point. The point is just to stick a middle finger up and fuck you to the woke and their morality.
Yes, I have.
And there's an important relationship between performative cruelty and social media. Social media increasingly rewards outrage, conflict, humiliation, where you do something awful, you're going to have a big argument in the comments, everyone's going to share it, it generates lots of attention. Attention can be converted into political power.
Do you regret saying that?
Saying a fact? No, that's absolutely true.
You think Hitler was very fucking cool?
Yes, I do.
One of them.
And I'm tired of pretending.
CR taking a strict anti-having a family with your first cousin stance, losing all your Alabama viewers. Oh my God, look, wow, you're horrible. I love that. Okay.
Vice signaling and rejecting morality might seem insane on the surface, but there's a very obvious logic to it. It seemed as though Trump invaded Venezuela basically for the meme. It was a very odd move, right? It doesn't seem like the oil companies really want to go and invest into it. It didn't seem like they needed it either because they could
probably, Meowzord, seriously.
Frack in America. Trump has had to beg them to go and invest into the area and will likely offer them massive subsidies to do so. Really, why he bombed Venezuela was to get these images, to show strength and the ability to do something massive. And this video sums up pretty perfectly.
He did it for the meme. They abducted the leader of Venezuela because they thought it would look good on the internet. And that's why in the room where they're running the operation, they have a big screen on the wall opened to x.com, and they put the word Venezuela into the search bar. These people are influencers, not public servants. Their power comes from the fact that they can get attention on the internet and then turn that attention into corruption money that allows them to buy a third home in Florida or reward their lackeys with patronage.
What's soft white elevator? Soft white underbelly. That sounds good.
And money. They're running a cronyism model.
Cronyism
it's extremely short term. It's not strategic. And it's based purely on optics. It's based purely on winning the next news.
But you see, as effective as this is in the short term, right now in this specific situation, there's an obvious built-in problem.
Trump says, be patient. The farmer's going to be better than ever. Well, you better hurry up. Because we can't stand this much. With the prices like they are today, we're not going to make any money.
Yeah.
Try to figure out a way to not lose so much.
Right now, it's undeniable that Trump holds all of the power in the world. Not only did they win massively politically, but increasingly culturally. MAGA and that kind of ideology has become dominant. The entire podcast sphere, which has become the biggest media environment, has overtaken mainstream media. Many of the key figures in that, the biggest podcasters, came out supporting Trump. The UFC and other big cultural institutions. Even some musicians came out pro-Trump. And then you see the convergence of big corporates and Trump. Silicon Valley getting behind Trump. You get these companies that popped up and did pretty well just by being simply anti-woke. Like, that's it, right? It's a chocolate bar, but it doesn't have pronouns. So brave.
But if you're tired of giving your money to woke corporations that hate you, and you're looking for a delicious chocolate bar from a company that actually wants your business...
And then slowly the bigger, more mainstream corporate...
See, guys, it's all capitalism. It's all capitalism. Yesterday, we talked about tradwives and how that's just making people a bunch of money by exploiting social frustrations of people. It's like all capital... Yep, Dolly Boy, that was a thing. It's all about profit and capitalism. The capitalism will always exploit... the business owners will always exploit social problems to make a profit, and they will amplify those problems. That is what they're doing. They saw a vulnerability, and they're exploiting it to make lots of money. And Trump is just an iteration of that, okay? Trump is an iteration of exploiting these issues, this sense of alienation, and turning it into political power. Okay. You know it, Grindcar. Great quote there. What is to be done, right? I know what you're referring to, Grindcar. Okay, comrade. So this is capitalism. That is what it is, right? The things you promote under capitalism, it's all about profit. The social ramifications do not matter. Okay, they don't matter. That's the thing. That's what's annoying. Yeah, sugar, sex, porn, hate. Yeah, seriously. Like, hate becomes a commodity under capitalism. Hate becomes a commodity. What do you, Brucey? Bruce, you said, "What are my?" No, Brucey. Sorry, I haven't seen. I can't read everyone's, Brucey. Forgive me. I may have just missed some of yours, just because I'm watching this and there's a lot of other things. But if I missed a good one, could you resend it, Brucey? Sorry, Dolly Boy. Never see. Sorry, Brucey. I like your shit, Brucey. Okay, Dolly Boy. Never seen people so obsessed with pronouns without actually knowing what the f they are. Right. Okay. Yeah. So that's that. It's capitalism always turns everything into a profit. It is about what benefits private tyrants. So whatever benefits that private shit company, the owner of that company, let's see here, that board of directors of that company, it is never about what benefits society. And they will always try to convince you it's what benefit, we're doing this because we want to benefit society, but it has nothing to do with that. And that's where the word comes from, capitalism. It focuses on what's good for capital. Socialism focuses on what's good for society. All right? All right. Yay! La da da. You know it, gray stuff. Okay.
Start doing little things like removing their diversity policies, pulling out their sponsorship for Pride Month, eventually leading to the Sydney Sweeney American Eagle advertising campaign.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color.
What the hell is this? I feel grossed out.
My genes are blue.
Sydney.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. I like Sydney. Well, wait a minute. Is she MAGA? I think she's MAGA. Whatever. Oh.
Sweeney has great genes.
That was kind of SAE. I think she is Brucey. Am I wrong about that? That kind of remind me. No, what controversy? Meowsword. I wasn't here for the controversy. What? I liked her as an actress, but I think, as I recall, isn't she MAGA now? My blonde and blue hair genes are great campaign. No, ew. That was so gross. That was very sexual assaulty, wasn't it? Am I wrong? Everyone's like, yeah. I didn't know about this, Meowsword. I didn't know that she did this big ad campaign. Oh, right. Okay. Okay, this is gross.
It was a pure anti-woke signal. When most brands are expected to do something about, how good everyone in their different bodies are. He's a bit thick, that boy's skinny. We're all beautiful, right? That's the expected norm. American Eagle comes out and goes, no, big boobs, blonde. Talking about how she has superior genetics. Pretty weird when everyone's saying Trump and Elon.
I don't know. Is it because I'm gay? No, it's probably because, all right, I get it. If she was an attractive looking man, I would be like, oh, wow. Maybe not. I'm just saying, images like that, it's so objectifying, isn't it? I know. Am I being woke? I don't know. Whatever. It's okay, right? Why are they really focusing in on her ass? And she's just that is so objectifying. And maybe it's a gay bias. I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't say the same thing if it were a man. I'm just saying. I haven't seen this. No, I haven't seen this shit. Okay. There's nothing wrong with yeah, okay, right? It's oh, that's fair, Brucey. Okay. Anyway, it's just all right. Yeah, of course it's objectifying. It's just kind of all right, moving on.
Kind of Nazis, odd choice. But what happened? It worked very.
Really, she had a whole ad. Why don't I know about this shit? Sylvia, you said there was other Nazi coded stuff attached to this campaign. I haven't heard about this. American Eagle. Oh my God, their stock surged 25%.
Well, for American Eagle.
Guys, that's really bad sign for America. That's what you need to get your stocks to soar. I don't know how I missed this. I don't know, guys. I am really bad about pop culture stuff. You all know that. I'm really bad about pop culture stuff. All right? So, I probably saw something like Sydney Sweeney, and I'm like, I'm not reading that shit. Okay, who cares? It's just, she's an actress, and it's not that important. Yeah, Yeah, okay. Okay, Mauser, they interviewed her and they asked, "Do you understand why people are upset with the good genes thing?" And she's like, no, I just like jeans laughing my ass off." I didn't hear that part. What? I don't remember any of this shit. Okay. I mean, I don't know any of this shit. This is crazy. The world stock market is really handing off like, oh God, all right, please do, Mauser. I honestly didn't hear of any of this crap. All right, whatever, guys. Screw you. I am not. I don't really do the cult. Whatever. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Sylvie. Thank you. Sylvie supports me. Sylvie says it took me a while to hear of it because I was the same. I saw Sydney Sweeney. I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. Okay.
Massively boosting sales. So slowly, in the exact same way as how the corporates jumped on virtue signaling, other brands will see that and notice that if they use vice signaling in their ad.
Brucey, thank you, Brucey. Brucey's defending me. Casual is gay. Why would he see hot women on purpose? Yeah, why would I? I don't go looking for that shit, okay?
Campaigns, it can boost their sales. So whilst the corporates are starting to fall in line, coinciding with the fact that all of the owners of all the big social media networks, pretty much all of the news media outlets, lots of these coming out on Trump's side, more and more billionaires aligning with him. Elon, the richest man on earth, banging out a Nazi salute and chucking millions on Donald Trump's campaign. Andrew Gutfield on, mainstream television, joking about how conservatives should start referring to themselves as Nazis.
I've said this before, we need to
Really, Gray? That's so weird. Okay, I did not hear about any of that.
learn from the blacks. The way they were able to remove the power from the N-word by using it. So from now on...
How old is she, guys? How old is Sydney Sweeney? How old is she? I'm just curious.
What up, my Nazi? Hey, what up, my Nazi? Hey.
Jesus Christ, I hate Fox News. I hate Fox News.
Hey, what's hanging, my Nazi?
All of this as a giant anti-woke performance.
Yeah,
whilst all of this is happening, and you might be sat there and thinking, fuck, this ain't good. I think we've lost the battle. It seems like the game's over. They've won. But slowly, and very fortunately, the same contradictions start to emerge.
In her 20s. Yeah, she's young, but she's an adult. Not to disagree with you here, elevator lady, but I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying. She's being tempted with money and shit. Yeah, but I get what you mean, elevator lady. All right.
So the choice is yours. Vote for me so we can kick every dirty Muslim out of Texas. Save your daughters from getting by Mohammed.
Vice signaling has the...
Oh my God, I forgot about that bitch. That person. The things that she was like, what a horrible human being. I'm sorry, she is. That lady, okay, I'll say it. That woman's a bitch. I don't care. She's a bitch. I'll say it. Okay, yeah, maybe it's a bit misogynistic. I don't care. She's a bitch. The one that was talking about Muslims that way and shit. Okay, monstrous bitch. Okay, same with the other guy from Fox News, Greg Gutfield. Absolute asshole bitch. Okay, I'm just saying. All right.
The exact same structural weakness as virtue signaling. Once the people performing it hold real institutional power and the state itself adopts this posture, they have all the power in the world to actually do something. Supporters of Trump want to see what they thought was, Trump is an honest person, he doesn't pretend. They want that to translate into material improvements in their lives. Obviously, there will always be some sycophants who just...
Ooh, Sylvie, make sure Doug sees that quote. Doug, Sylvie's quoting Ren. Dolly Boy, she is, but I can't say that word on stream, so I'm not going to say it. But Dolly Boy, that is what I would say too if I was able to.
Don't care about anything, just want to own the libs. But generally, this is the case. But if Trump is meant to be the person to expose the truth, but then, constantly lies about the Epstein files. If he claims that he's not going to waste money on foreign wars and then bombs Venezuela and claims he wants to take over Greenland. All the while, the cost of living for average people is still rising and life isn't improving. The contradiction starts growing. And this is why you're starting to hear criticism of Donald Trump within the right wing itself. And interestingly, they critique him for performative cruelty.
This is why everyone hates Trump now. Everyone hates this administration because it is a scam.
You don't want militarized people in the streets just roaming around, snatching people up, many of which turn out to actually be U.S. citizens that just don't have their papers on them. Are we really going to be the Gestapo? Where's your papers?
This is the... Thank you, Joe Rogan, for... Guys, I'm sorry, Joe Rogan is one of the dumbest people on the planet. I don't get it. I don't get how anyone has ever liked him. I know maybe in the beginning he wasn't as bad. At least he didn't speak much and he just let other people talk. But he's just dumb. No, I honestly, Paul Squall, I think it is partially about money, but he is also just dumb. He is so dumb. Whenever I see him talking, no, Brucey, you don't have to be smart to make a platform like that. I gotta tell you, I don't think so. I think he is dumb. The way he talks, he has no ability to recognize contradictions in what he's saying. I just don't think he's a smart guy. He's just very dumb. It's like, oh God. Yeah, I don't know. He just, yeah, and it was stolen. You don't have to be smart. A lot of people who create thriving businesses aren't smart. Think of Tim Pool, for example. Do we think Tim Pool is smart? And he has a pretty big media platform. All right. I just don't like him. He just doesn't seem very smart. Okay. And okay, I don't know. Whatever. He's just not that bright.
End of the Trump administration. This is the beginning of the lame duck presidency.
The critique becomes that Trump cares more about the theatrics than delivery. And right here creates a crossroads, right? There's two paths where this could go. One is escalation.
Yeah, thank you, Elevator. That's a better way of putting it. His view of the world is very myopic, yeah.
He stops working as a signal, then certain actors will just push it further. They'll say that Trump doesn't go far enough. He hasn't really got what it takes. These people will be more likely to go towards ethno-national.
Lacroix. Tim Pool wears a very big beanie because his brain is so big, Sam. I'm sure, Lacroix.
There's more exclusion, clearer enemies, get rid of them completely. However, and much more hopefully, it does open up another door. Material improvement focused
You're
politics.
right, Mr. Kincaid.
When both symbolic virtue and symbolic cruelty have failed and have lost credibility, a space starts to open up for figures who come across as serious, not just performative, but materially focused on actually improving things. Suddenly, that person feels very different and very fresh and authentic. Someone like Zoran Mondani. Obviously, I was going to say it. Zoran doesn't really read as being woke or anti-woke. They don't really even try and use woke on him. Even though he has all the progressive opinions that would qualify as being woke, they rather use the term communist against him because it's hard to argue that
he terrorists. They use that too.
Is just performative. Zoran reads as just a person trying to govern. You might disagree with how he governs, but no one can argue that he isn't laser focused on the issues.
Together, New York, we're going to freeze the.
Oh my God, he's so hot. Oh my God, I'd like to see him rather than Sydney Sweeney any day. Let's get Zoran Mamdani into some of those ads, shall we? Oh my God, who here would want to see some Gene ads with Zoran Mamdani, please? Oh my God.
New York, we're going to make buses fast and.
Yeah, right,
together,
Macon? I mean,
New
come
York,
on.
we're going to deliver universal.
I mean, his wife can be there too. I don't want her on the screen though. It can just be him.
He was so focused on issues that his entire support base could repeat his actual policies. And he knows social media, so he does do the theatrical stuff. But his theatrics are, you know, on day one, going to houses that have slum landlords and physically inspecting them. He goes and signs executive orders, cracking down on things that annoy normal people. Things like junk fees, subscription tricks, things that will actually make a difference in people's lives and they will notice it. And by day 8, he achieved universal free childcare. The policy that they all claimed was impossible, he did it, right? And he knows how to play the cameras.
He's
the
winning.
Big theatrical moment that most people saw was that someone once messaged that they want to fix this bump on a bicycle path that was very common and it was very annoying to lots of New Yorkers. And in a few days of being in charge, he went out there with a big camera team and fixed.
Oh my God, he's done so much good already, guys. Oh my God.
So what this means, right, the lesson that you can take and what this means for left-wing politics is we are in a very narrow window right now where laser-focused material politics that centers around working people and all people in a community that is backed by a clear, reliable morality of accepting and respecting others, wanting to make a community where people feel a part of it and can work together to fix shared problems. And what this does, right, is it has another effect. If the identity groups at the moment are left and right or woke and anti-woke, and we understand in-group versus out-group tendency, what Zoran Mondani's style politics does is creates a new identity group.
Yes.
I watched this really good podcast on Navarro with Roger Hallen. I recommend anyone who's interested to listen to it because it will give you proper takeaways that you can action if you want to make change politically. A lot of the time, people who watch people like me want to be able to do something, but they don't know what. And what Roger argues is that there's a lot you can do on a local level that can have massive ripple effects. And he was talking about how the mistake that some people make in political organizing is that they treat organizing politically.
This is what we have been saying this here forever, right? And I don't just mean me, I mean all of you too. Right? We need economic populism. We need the Democrats to address people's material needs, and we need to bribe MAGA by giving them shit, okay? We need to force them to have a better life. And what I mean by that is give them universal health care, give them less time working, give them paid time off. That might knock them out to their senses a little bit, and that'll be good for us too. Let's give everyone better material conditions. That'll help a lot and convince people to start thinking differently, and maybe it'll pull some of them away from the lunacy. So that's why Zoran Mamdani is so successful, is because he focuses on the economic stuff and actually does things for people. Which I know the Democrats don't know what that means, but
as persuasion.
For the first 2 years, I had this traditional 19th century idea, which is common on the left and the right, that you go with a proposition.
Exactly, Sylvie. I'm giving you free healthcare whether you like it or not, dipshit. Exactly. And I bet their mind will change pretty quickly once that happens.
Cognitively and rationally assess it, and then they decide to act. and it doesn't. It's rubbish.
Hallam argues that at the start,
and to be honest, guys, historically, when you give a massive social program, it becomes impossible to get rid of it once it's been implemented. All right, like it just becomes very hard. Like Social Security, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Now that we have those programs, any attempt to get rid of it, there's always massive pushback, and it's really hard to completely get rid of them. They can be altered, but it's not, people love them. So yeah, a lot of people right now, there are people out there who might not like universal health care. Just force it down their throats. I don't give a shit. Force it down their throats, and then let's see if they don't like it then, okay? And then maybe they will start voting for you once they realize their mistake, all right? Yeah, exactly, Sylvia, you're right. But hey, Sylvia, I'm okay with 4 generations as long as it works at the beginning. Okay, Meowzord, good luck. I'm sure the Republicans will fight to call it the Trump quality of life reform. Maybe, Meowzord.
When you try and get someone involved in your politics, it might be from a different background or a different way of thinking you, is that you shouldn't focus on getting
I know,
them to...
those poor insurance companies, Lacroix. You know, we really ought to care about them. Fuck them. I don't care. Get rid of them. You know, honestly, guys, if I was a dictator, you know, I shouldn't start that way. If I was America Stalin, okay, I actually shouldn't start that way either. If I had universal, unquestioned authority over all things in the United States, I would abolish all the insurance companies, implement a work program for the people in the insurance companies so that they're not suddenly unemployed, give them an income that allows them to get trained in a different field, or do public works projects that they can start working on instead, transfer some of them into the new administration for the universal health care, get rid of the insurance companies completely, and then implement universal health care. Like, that'd be the way to do this. You know, we need to get rid of the insurance companies. And if you don't want people to be unemployed, just use the state to make sure they're employed, or give them at least payments for the time they're not employed. Okay, and yeah, there'll be pushback, but the sacrifice is necessary for the country, and they're not going to suffer because we're going to pay them for not being employed because we fired them, okay? You see what I mean? All right, there's ways to do this. We can just get rid of the insurance companies and make sure everything is done universally, all right? You know it, Grindcar, you know it, you know it.
Agree with you, or for you to agree with them. But instead, the emphasis should be on you listening to them. By just listening to what they say, whether you agree with it or not, helps build a trust between you and them and a connection. From there, you can find a common problem you can work on together, you know, such as doing something about slum landlords in your area, fixing broken things in your community, helping homelessness, food banks, this kind of stuff. A lot of people point out the Workers' Party of Belgium right now because they're seeing growing success by using a very grassroots, materially focused organizing strategy. Rather than building politics around national culture wars or moral posturing, they organize locally. Neighborhood meetings, workplace organizing, community clinics, legal support, a visible real-life presence in people's everyday life. And they work on shared problems: rent, wages, energy bills, healthcare, working together locally to improve their own communities. The strength in Joron speaking so much about New York and New Yorkers as an identity group, the reason why he speaks about specific New York roads and restaurants and things that New Yorkers
to make
get
connections
and they find funny and relatable, is that he builds a trust and a connected identity with all New Yorkers. They feel close to him because he just gets things that
you
affect
guys
their
remember
lives.
when Dr. Oz and his attempt to connect with the Pennsylvania electorate referred to, what is it called, the vegetable shit, like the vegetable, what is it shit, there's a French word for like vegetables, crudité. He went to a supermarket to show that he's a normal person and knows about supermarkets, and he's like, I'm gonna go, I went to the look, I'm at the supermarket. I'm trying to make a crudité. And like, he bought a bunch of vegetables that have nothing to do, like a bunch of things that aren't in a crudité. Like, he bought salsa and like celery sticks, which is not, anyway, like, completely missing the point of trying to connect with the electorate by talking about a crudité, whatever the hell that is, and then not buying the things that are actually for a crudité. And then, anyway, but like, Mamdani actually does talk to people, and he knows what he knows, you know, he knows. Okay. Yeah, it's an old-fashioned word, groceries. We need people who actually know what it's like to be the average American, average working class American, and knows how to fix this shit. Okay. Or who knows how people live. But we have, as I've said, guys, we have an elite class that has the majority of the power in this country. And most of the leaders and politicians are derived from that elite class and are completely separate from our everyday lives. Okay? So can we do something about that? And to do that, by the way, guys, we're going to have to at least go a little bit outside of the system. At least go a little bit outside of it, because like I said, the system is dominated by the elite class. So we're going to need to put some kind of pressure on the elites, that elite class, okay? Yeah, Outer Signal, I like how you phrase it. Outer Signal, being a human being is super effective, right? Right, Outer Signal? That sounds like a Pokemon thing. Like, Pikachu used humanization. It was super effective. Okay, for those who know, that's like a Pokemon joke, but all right. I'm just saying, the system is not great.
Might have very different worldviews to him. They can say, look, we might not agree on everything, but I really believe he will help me with this issue that is important to me because he gets it.
And I would say, throughout the primary, this quote from Ed Koch: if you agree with me on 9 out of 12 issues, vote for me. 12 out of 12, see a psychiatrist.
Right.
And
so look, I sit on YouTube and I yap about politics.
Dolly boy, I hate
you have more ability to change minds within your community than I could ever imagine.
All right, so that was really good. Thank you guys who sent that to me. That was really good. Very educational, okay? Educational for all of us, okay? All of us. I'm going to put my face up. So, guys, do you know what I'm about to say to all of you? Do you know what I'm about to say to all of you? I'm about to say to all of you that I need to urinate, okay? Because, I haven't peed in like 5 minutes. And, look, don't laugh at Dolly Boy. So, yeah, Malzord, Eric Trump says she's never had a job. She's never had to sign the front of a check. Oh, my God, fucking okay. I get into office, and now being a billionaire is illegal. Once you hit the billion, everything after goes to funding the poor. I agree with you, Sylvie. I don't think anyone should. I think it should be even lower than that, Sylvie, but that's a good start. Ban billionaires. I think it should be like $1 million. I know no one will agree with me, probably. Or there should be a lower number than that, but yes, that'd be a good start. I'm going to go urinate, guys. I'll be right back. Be good out there. And if you're good, I'll hand out boops when I get back. Okay, I'll hand out boops. If you want a boop, be good. I'll be reading the chat when I get back. Okay? All right, I'll be handing out boops, bomps, and broncs. Yes, I can, Mr. King K. All right, you're going to get a bonk, Mr. King K. All right, I'll be right back. Right back, guys. Give me a second. Sam has to pee. I have to urinate. Okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, you're right, Sylvie. That's very fair. Okay. That's what I'm saying. We might have to start with that, but if I could make a choice. Okay. Bye-bye, guys. I'll be right back. Stay.
On a tightrope, and I wish I could touch the ground. My future's covered in smoke, but my head is up in the ground. And maybe this will all fade after one bad day, and I'll be okay. But my life is in the worst place, and I can't wait for heartbreak from my mistakes. I'm just too tired to fight, but there's an end in sight. Wave the white flag, I'm yours tonight. 'Cause my heart can't take these heights. I need your love with me for life. I need your love, I need your love with me for life. I need
Everything is fine, guys. I'm back. Everything's fine. Everything's good. No problems here. By the way, Mueller did die. I just read that. Robert Mueller, the guy who headed some of the investigations of Donald J. Trump and who was the director of the FBI, has perished, and they have not released how he died. And I do hope that we find out how he died because, you know, I'm not trying to be conspiratorial, but I'm going to need verification that he died naturally. Okay. I am. I'm going to need some verification there. I mean, maybe he very possibly did. He was 81, but, you know. Trump, by the way, celebrating on social media Robert Mueller's death, so that's fun. Happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday. Welcome to the dystopia. Robert Mueller did, ICE. Robert Mueller, who really did not get along with Donald Trump. It's a long story, but he did in fact perish, and I don't know. They haven't said how he died. I'm guessing it was natural. The family probably would have immediately said if it was unnatural, but I'm kind of only half joking when I'm saying we need to verify that he died naturally, given how much Trump hates him. And Trump celebrated on social media saying that he's glad Robert Mueller is dead. Yeah, Sylvie. Okay. I just my initial thought there is like, we better verify. All right. If he fell out of a window, you know, or he was found hanging in his prison cell when the cameras were off or some shit. You know what I mean. He wasn't in prison, by the way. Okay. All right. How's everyone doing? Let me hand out some boops, okay? Handing. He really is like a 16-year-old. Yeah, he really is, Jonas. Okay, I'm gonna hand out some boops. Okay. Yeah, right, Dolly Boy. It's a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the back of the head, probably. I'm gonna hand out some boops. Right, Mr. Grinke, so much for celebrating people's death. What do you think about this, Charlie Kirk? What do you think, Charlie Kirk, about Donald Trump celebrating Robert Mueller's death? God, he's such an asshole, guys. He never wants to answer any questions. God, I wonder what's wrong with Charlie Kirk. Anyway, such a rude guy. Like we went through this whole process of getting him to come into the studio today, and look, he won't even answer a question. Rude. Okay. As that one guy said we watched yesterday, I can understand why someone did that to him. That doesn't mean I support it happening. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I see how rude that was. Anyway, Charlie Kirk's an asshole. Okay. Maybe one time I'll get out the Ouija board, guys, and we can try and have a real conversation with Charlie Kirk. All right. So, guys, let me hand out some boops. Okay, Sam very obviously doesn't carry the flame. LaQual, I swear to God, you get a boop for that one, LaQual. Boop. Oh, that's a good point, Jonas. It's probably because he wasn't sitting to the right. We all know he prefers the far, far right. Jonas gets a boop. Boop. Guys, I was actually considering yesterday, I was like, maybe I should make the chat so that only there's a way you can set up the chat to only give verified people you allow to speak, and then to give commentary so that a lot of you are very brilliant in your comments, if not most of you. Like, limit it to only people who make clever comments. So, like, the chatters, it's like a constant stream of hilarity and good jokes and great comments. I would never do that, but you know, we're like a elite community here of hilarious comments and jokes. Anyway, moving on. I do not. Okay, yes. Yeah, okay. Dolly Boy gets a boop. Boop. Macon gets a boop. Boop. Matt Saigai gets a boop. Boop. Who else gets a boop? Ice gets a boop. Boop. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ice, that you have a headache and a bloody nose. Mr. King K gets a boop. Boop. I know, LaQual, me too. I like to play with our food too. When once in a while I get to yell at someone. Yeah, no, you're right, Sylvie. It doesn't. Don't worry. I'm not planning on doing that. It's a bit elitist, but wouldn't that be great if we did do that? If we had like the perfect stream for that, right? But guys, if you want to help me get more people in here, tell your friends about me. Tell your friends about me. Tell them that there's this great, hilarious lunatic who dresses like a jester, and you have to see him. Okay. Theodore gets a boop. Boop. You get 2 boops, Theodore. Boop. Ninjester gets a boop. Boop. Ninjester, how have you been? Have you been busy? I haven't seen you much. You doing okay? Grind Car gets a boop. Boop. Have I given everyone a boop once a poop? A poop. Sure, some people here want a poop. To each their own. Outer Signal gets a boop. Boop. Outer Signal, how dare you? Outer Signal says cheeseburgers away, Roombas will play. How dare you? Okay, how dare you? I do not want to have sex with a Roomba. I was making a joke. All right, I was making a joke. All I said was that I would rather have sex with a Roomba than have sex with James Bond. Because James Bond looks like very boring when it comes to that shit. You know what? I don't want to reopen this. I don't want to reopen this debate. Okay? I don't want to divide the left with this debate about Roombas and James Bond. Okay? All right. Hello, F1 Addict. Welcome. You get a boop. Boop. Louise gets a boop. Boop. Sylvie gets a boop. Boop. Did anyone else want a boop? Anyone else want a boop? Bop isn't a thing, Sylvie. That isn't a thing. Okay, don't. Stop. Stop it, Sylvie. All right. Did I miss anyone who wants a boop? Well, Macon, that would still be better than doing it with James Bond. What a boring lover, okay, if you'll ever watch the movies. Anyway, at least that would be a bit thrilling. You know what? I'm sorry. I'll stop. Anyone else want a boop? Oh, yes, Elevator Lady gets a boop. Boop. All right. Anyone else need a boop? Need to hand out some goddamn boops. Let's see here. Look, I don't know. Guys, did I miss anyone who wants a boop? Are we done? Are we done with the boops? Okay, we're done with the boops. All right. Thank God. Oh, Jesus. Let me eat my cracker. How's everyone doing out there? Oh. Thank you, Jonas. I'll take a drink. Thank you, Jonas. Okay. What am I eating? I am eating, not a sponsor, by the way, a Belvita dark chocolate cream sandwich. It's extremely dry. It's like sticking the Sahara Desert in my mouth, but it's quick. Okay, it's a very quick thing to have. Elevator Lady, why is the stream... By the way, the Sahara Desert without the oases. I have not F1 Addict. No, Mr. King Cam. Sorry. For me only. I don't share. What do you think I am? A socialist or something? Let's see here. I'm really glad to see Israel and Iran targeting each other's nuclear facilities. Really? Okay, let's look that up. I had something else to do, but I'm stalling. Let me see here. Israel and Iran targeting each other's nuclear facilities. Yeah, isn't that great, Dolly Boy? Great to see that escalation happen. Israel, and I'm sure Israel won't nuke Iran, right? They would never. They're an angelic state, and they're very rational. Israel and Iran attacking nuclear. This is hilarious. Nuclear. All right, but don't worry though. Israel doesn't have nukes. F1 Addict, thank you for subscribing. All right. I mean, you could try, Mr. King K. I don't think I taste very good, but you can try. Okay, I'm like, my cologne would ruin it. They don't. I know they don't. Of course they don't, Dolly Boy. Let's see here. All right, so here we go. 4 hours ago. Oh wow. Okay, interesting. That is so. It's true. That's good. That's no problem. Okay, you know what? Here, I'll put it up on the screen. So, missiles hit town hosting Israel's nuclear facility. Israel says an Iranian missile has hit Dimona, a southern town hosting its nuclear facility, in an attack that wounded dozens of people. Iran says its naval forces destroyed facilities at the Al Manad base. Oh, this is so fun, guys. This is like watching... Where's my face? This is like watching a sports event or something, okay? You know, it's like a sports event where, you know, the world is ending. And no matter who wins, everyone dies. Okay, yay! Thank God for the angelic state of Israel and the United States for starting this apocalyptic scenario. Great. Da 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 da. Okay, hello, Deke. Hello, Deke. You say, today I learned that Hasanabi and Asmongold were mentioned to be talent of the same creator agency. What do you... what are you referring to, Deke? Welcome, Deke. I'm not sure what that means. Would you clarify? So that's good, guys. And apparently, Israel struck the Natanz facility in Iran. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Could you explain that, Deke? I'm not sure what you mean by that. But welcome, Deke. So, guys, no, I still don't call it a world war, Ice. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. It's not a world war in my opinion. Even if nukes are launched, that's still isn't a world war unless okay. Casual Revolt, Asmongold and Hasanabi are managed by the same creator agency. I don't know what that means, Deke. I'm sorry. Do you mean they have like a manager? Okay. I don't. No. Why are you telling me that, Matt? It's just easier for me to say Deke. It's Deke shit. Deke shit. I don't know. But regardless, it's just easier to say Deke. Okay. Oh, okay. That's interesting. I'm not sure what that means, but like they're just managed by the same agency. I'll have to look into it. Forgive me, Deke. Anyway, moving on. Thank you very much, Elevator Lady. Yes, Jonas. Lebanon is also being hammered completely. Is being completely hammered. Okay, completely hammered by Israel, which is an aggressive guy. But don't worry, they're just defending themselves. Israel is. They're just creating a buffer zone between them and Lebanon, which will include annexing large swaths of Lebanon. By the way, can we get a new government in Lebanon? They are not fighting back. Hezbollah is the only group in Lebanon that is actually trying to combat Israel. The Lebanese government is like, we don't want to get involved. Our military is not going to get involved. Hey, Lebanon, by the way, Israel's killing your civilians and bombing the hell out of you. Would you stop being pussies and actually do something? Okay. I probably can't say that on stream. But yeah, can we get the Lebanese government to actually take action to protect their own civilians? That'd be nice. Okay, Asmongold is a okay, please explain them. Okay, yeah, guys, you can just talk about that in chat. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not sure what we're even referring to. Okay. That Jonas, oh, you know what, Jonas, that's fair. That is actually fair. I didn't even think of that, Jonas. There is a fear of American reaction because of the Beirut thing that happened many years ago. Okay, that makes sense, Jonas. I just feel it's just weird to me that I didn't think about that, Jonas. I shouldn't be blaming the Lebanese government too much then. But it feels like at this point, well, okay, that's right. Okay, so that's good. Mr. King K. Anyway, so that's good news, guys. More bombs falling back and forth. Great. Great. I'm trying to see if there's anything else going on here. Yeah. So anyway, now we're hitting each other's nuclear facilities. That's not going to cause a problem at all, I'm sure. Yay! La da 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 da. La da 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 da. All right. Moving on. I'm going to see what else we have to look at here. What else we have to do. I'm going to get out of a lot of these pages first of all. Okay. That's all right. Boop-a-doop-boop-boo. Oh, I got you. You're saying that it has to do with capitalism, Deke? That makes sense. All right. Oh, okay, fair. Actually, that's a good question, Deke. Why not? You say, what are your positions on Graham Plattner and Kat? I liked Kat a lot. She lost, unfortunately. Honestly, I'm okay with Graham Plattner, too. I think the people of that district can decide. He might be, I get that he had a Nazi, he had like a Nazi thing on his chest and shit. That's why I don't really talk about it anymore. I'm just like, well, the people of that district can decide. I don't know what the answer is. I got to tell you, I don't know what the answer is. In the end, we need more than just electoralism to actually change things. I don't think any of them will offer a permanent solution to the problems we have. Yeah, we need much more than just these two people in office, and obviously one of them already lost. So yeah, they're not saviors at all. They're better than what is there, but we need more than just electoralism at this point. We need to take action outside the system, whether it be through mass strikes or other things, etc. Okay, that would be my response to that. Okay. So this is, I'm just reading here what's happening in the world. What's happening on day 22 of the Israeli strikes. All right. Let me see what else we got here. Okay, guys, give me a second here. I'm just looking around to see what to look at now. I have some other interesting things. Oh, let's watch. This is from Mr. King.
This entire time.
This is a short little thing. Let's just watch this real fast. I did see this. Okay. Let's watch this. Okay, this is MAGA Man crumbles when I expose his utter hypocrisy. Let's just watch this. I'll see if it's good. It'll just be kind of a fun thing. This is kind of a fun thing. Let's just watch.
You've been obsessed with trans people. You've only talked about trans people. You haven't mentioned a single policy of Trump's that you like. Can you name a single policy of Donald Trump's that you like, that he's influenced to get passed?
The big, beautiful bill, baby.
Okay, name one provision within the big, beautiful bill that you like.
Cutting SNAP.
So you want 420,000 children to be cut off of free school lunch and breakfast on average every single month?
I think it should be reworked.
But in the big, beautiful bill, 420,000 children are cut off of free school lunch and breakfast on
This
average.
guy's really good at debating Trump supporters. He's a bit libbed up, but like I do support his ability to be a really good debater.
Every single month.
SNAP is a program that needed to be reworked for years.
Answer the question, though. Like, are you okay with cutting 420,000 children off of free school lunch and breakfast on average every single month?
So I want the SNAP program to be reworked.
Wow, you can't answer this question. I'm asking you a direct question, and you're like literally running away from the question, you coward. Answer the question. Are you okay with 420,000 children on average every single month being cut off of free school lunch and breakfast?
I didn't come up here to talk about this. I came out here to talk about transgender.
Oh yeah, you're only willing to talk about.
Of course you can, Deke. Now, Deke, I might not be able to watch it. If it's too long, I won't be able to watch it. But go ahead and send it to me. We'll see if it's something I want to watch. Okay.
Trans people and their effect on children, which, by the way, isn't negative, but you're not willing to acknowledge the effect of the big, beautiful bill, the policy you just mentioned to be good, on children. This entire time, you've been obsessed with trans.
Okay. Yep. He's pretty good. I gotta tell you, he's good at arguing with Trump supporters. Thank you for sending that, Mr. King K. And what's his name again? I've heard him before. Parker Get a Job. I've heard I don't often watch his stuff, but it's good when I do. He does some good critiques. Okay. Yeah, we did, Meows. Robert Mueller did die.
According to us.
All right. So, no, we're not going to watch this. Thank you, though, Deke. It's too long, first of all. And I would have to watch it first to verify that just to verify that he's telling the truth or et cetera. Okay. That's not to say, I'm not, but thank you for sending it, Deke. Maybe I'll take a look at it and maybe during the next stream. Okay. All right. I will say this though, Deke, and with the full due respect to you, almost every person who, I've not seen much of Bad Empanada, but it's pretty much the case that every person, except for like one or two that I've met who does like Bad Empanada, are complete assholes and also have no idea what they're talking about a lot of the time. I don't, not completely don't know what they're talking about, but are very, let me phrase it this way, don't seem to actually support the working class. They seem to be nationalists or to generalize about entire groups of people. So I would have to see what he has to say, but we'll take a look. Okay, we'll take a look here. I'll watch that video, and that's just me generalizing. Okay, I know Grindcar. But anyway, I don't want to get into a fight between. I'm a very small creator, guys. I'm very small, so I can still kind of say these things without causing much controversy. Okay, maybe my mind will be changed later. Okay, but anyway, yeah, of course he does, Lurking Snow Leopard. That's my issue with him, right? does not take criticism, and then when he does get criticized, he demonizes everyone who criticizes him. Okay. He also is kind of dehumanizing to human beings a lot of the time, which to me is not a left-wing value at all. Okay. Anyway, he also does it from a position. Yeah, he often does these critiques from a position of relative safety. Okay. And it's very easy for him to criticize people around the world when he doesn't have to worry about any of it. He's perfectly safe. Okay. Anyway. Okay. I'm not trying to start lefty drama here. Okay. I'm not. No, Mr. King K, I love that video you sent. Yeah, that's okay, Mr. King K. I know that. I like the shit you send, okay? Okay, moving on. That's, guys, I don't like doing lefty drama. You guys can watch who you like, okay? And stuff like that. I'm just being pissy about it. Because okay. I've met like one person. There's a member of our community who I really, really like, who does like him, and I respect this guy. But most of the time, Ben and Panada people are assholes. Okay, I got to tell you. Okay, or they're bigoted. They say that they'll see that I'm an American, and they'll start accusing me of horrible things just because I'm an American. And I'm like, what? What are you doing? Okay, okay. Okay, moving on. All right, guys. So let's go on here. Now watch, guys. I'm trying to find, what was I about to show you guys? See, now I'm distracted. My ADHD is kicking in. Let me find something for us to look at. Here we go. See, now, guys, while I'm pulling up this other video, if I were and that's not you, Deke, by the way. I don't know you. You're probably a great person. But let me see. Where's this video I want to show you? Well, while I'm finding it. Nazi pseudoscience. Never mind. I'm just going to shut up now and just find a video to watch. Okay, we watch that one. We watch this one. We watch this one. Okay, god damn it. I'm proud to be an American. All right. What the hell? Okay, Ron freaking. So how's everyone doing out there while I pull up this other video? While
this video is
deal with my goddamn. Okay. How dare you? I'm not proud to be an American. Okay, you all know I'm joking. All right, let's watch this.
For the last
so this is corporation shocking plan for our food supply. All right. And you know, let's just watch it. It'll be kind of fun. Okay. It'll be fun. And, you know, why not? Let's just, I thought it'd be kind of interesting. Well, actually, guys, we have an option. We can either watch this one about Buy More Perfect Union, or we can watch the one about why you can't buy a house. So let's watch this one.
Few months, I've been tracking how chemical lobbyists have sabotaged an unprecedented wave of demands to clean up America's food supply.
Okay. Now, we've talked before, guys, about how in America, we have very few regulations on our food. A lot of the regulations in Europe, for example, are much stricter, much stricter. And a lot of times Europeans, especially even the Europeans in here, will say, okay, like a lot of Americans a lot of Europeans will say how like they're always shocked at the ingredients that are in American food because we have such a weird number of ingredients a lot of times and shit like that. Okay. Okay.
RFK Jr. helped propel Donald Trump to the White House with promises to go after the companies they said were poisoning our food.
And don't you want a president who's going to make America healthy?
You're right, LaCroix. LaQual, this is a managed democracy, okay? This is a managed democracy.
Millions of Americans have concerns about toxins in our environment and pesticides in our food.
Now, those same corporate polluters are writing the Trump administration's regulations on pesticides. Pesticides with serious safety concerns. How did this happen? We reviewed internal emails from the Environmental Protection Agency to figure out exactly how lobbyists are fighting back, and spoke to some of Maha's.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm reading the chat and I shouldn't be. I really want to make a comment. With full due respect to you, Deke, okay? Bad Empanada, some of the so-called content he does is just historically wrong. I don't know what to say. He did a video, for example, on the Soviet Union, and he was just factually wrong about a lot of the stuff he said about it, in kind of a dark way, like he's trying to cover up horrible things. And then any historian that would criticize him, he would then say must be funded by this. Like, he wouldn't say this outright, but he'd say that they were lied to or that they're spewing propaganda. That's not. They're not. It's just fact. Okay, so
to see how they are dealing with the betrayal.
It's big ag, big chemical is what has captured a lot of conservative politicians.
All three branches of this government is under siege by lobbyists and lawyers from a German company named Bayer.
This is not what we voted for.
Okay.
Let's start the story with her, Zen Honeycutt, a Maha activist and fierce ally of RFK Jr.
What was your reaction when you saw that President Trump had named him to this?
Okay, real fast. Sorry, guys. Deke, I know, I got you, Deke. I don't want to go into it now, Deke, mainly because we're doing this. So I'm going to briefly answer you, and then I promise everyone I'll stop talking about it. With full respect to you, Deke. And Deke, you can join our Discord if you want to. But between the genocide framing, there was a lot more problems with it than that, Deke. He also said that the only bad thing the Soviet Union did was that they forcibly relocated ethnic minorities. The Soviet Union did a lot of other horrible things to people than just that. And then he made it seem like that was just a mistake of misinterpreting Marxist-Leninism. No, it was an ethnic cleansing campaign. They literally tried to ethnically cleanse parts of the Soviet Union. And then to frame it as, well, that was just an error of how they interpreted their ideology. That's cute. That's like saying that the Nazis, they did the concentration camps, but that was just a misinterpretation of fascism. It was sort of a mistake of them doing you see what I mean? It was just he does a lot of defense of some things that aren't that defensible or aren't defensible at all. And then, okay, and I don't see the need to do that. The Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore, okay? The Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore. Why do we need to do defense? It had some really good things about it, but it also had bad things about it. And, okay, so I could go on and on and on about some of the other things he said and did, about how the Soviet Union literally tried to get an alliance with Nazi Germany. I'm not joking. Okay, it was more than the non-aggression pact. Stalin was seeking an alliance with the Nazis. He was open to joining the Axis powers before Hitler attacked him. They were holding talks about it. I doubt Bad Empanada will ever mention that or will probably dismiss it. Stalin was not a good guy. Now, there were a lot of really good things about the Soviet Union. It is not a black and white issue. But I don't know why any critique of the Soviet Union always gets blown up as like propaganda or like you're missing the point. No, two things can be right at the same time. Okay. Okay, fine, Grindcar. Everyone wanted yeah, and like, guys, and this is my point. Okay. Nope, I'm not, Deke. Oh my God. Okay, I do not want to get into this debate. This is like the most annoying thing to me, being a lefty creator, is like other lefties coming in here and then, okay, I respect, we're all advocating for the same things in the present, okay? We're all advocating for the same things in the present, right? Macon, I know, right? You don't respect the people who fought for you. This is my point, Grindcar. When did I say that? Did I say for a moment that the millions of Soviet citizens who died fighting the Nazis don't deserve our respect? Never. Never. Okay? But Stalin was evil. He was a horrible human being, and he murdered millions of people. And the Soviet Union was very abusive of people. It was. The government of the Soviet Union was. I deeply respect the people who lived in the Soviet Union, how they fought the Nazis, the sacrifices they made for the planet. But this weird glorification of the Soviet Union as if it was this socialist paradise is just not true historically. It is just factually wrong. And there were tons. Did I say, Grindcard, that they helped the Nazis?
I cried. Many other people cried.
This is my point. This is my point. I never said that they helped the Nazis. I said the Soviet Union was, in fact, seeking an alliance with the Nazis. That is a fact. So would you mind telling me why? So you saying that's not a fact? Okay, I'm done. Let's continue, guys. You get my point. Please join the Discord if you want to debate more. All right. Let's go on.
We were so excited.
Guys, it's happening.
I was had been a lifelong Democrat.
When I talked to her, the EPA had just approved the use of a controversial pesticide.
Yeah, hell of it. Yeah, the Soviet Union won World War II. They were the big heroes of World War II.
Extremely disappointing. The EPA must take action to reduce our exposure to toxic pesticides, and that means restrictions and bans. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
The pesticide is concerning, but what's way more concerning is how it got approved.
That's clearly a glaring example of the chemical company influence over this administration.
To see if Zen still believed in Trump's campaign promises, I wanted to talk to her about these emails that offer insight into the approval process. They're about a week.
Grindcard, that's okay. And I don't mean to be clear, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to, Grindcard, I'm not trying to be rude to you. It's like thank you. It's just a pet peeve of mine because I feel like I'm constantly having to battle. Like, I am a socialist, and I think a lot of what the Soviet Union did is great. But as soon as I give the tiniest criticism of the Soviet Union, because the Soviet Union was made up of people. People can do bad things, right? As soon as I do the tiniest criticism, I'm suddenly accused of not being a good lefty, of like being, I know, Grindcar, and it's not you, Grindcar, of all this other shit, okay? I'm gonna lose my mind. I know, Jonas, I'm sorry. It's just that I'm sick of it. I'm like, it happens all the time, and it's like the one group of people that constantly comes after me.
Killer called dicamba, and they were uncovered by Nathan Donnelly and the Center for Biological Diversity, and provide clues on how the EPA's chemical division is making decisions on all sorts of dangerous chemicals, including cancer-causing PFOS and formaldehyde.
The documents we got, just really show how incestuous of a relationship there is between the EPA's chemicals office and the industries they regulate.
Let's lay out the timeline.
Okay.
In 2024, 3 pesticide companies applied for new dicamba-based weed killers.
So the major problem with dicamba is when you spray it, it off-gases, and then it turns into this toxic, nasty plume.
In the right conditions, that plume can travel for miles and kill or damage plants not genetically engineered to resist it.
It's, destroying habitat throughout much of the Midwest and the South. It's killing trees that were alive when Abraham Lincoln was president.
Nathan tells me studies linking dicamba to cancer, especially in the workers using it, are inconclusive, but that's concerning in its own right.
It hasn't been until the last less than 10 years where people have started to be exposed to a lot more because we're using a lot more of it. We're basically, guinea pigs in this experiment.
The EPA's first 2 approvals of dicamba were blocked after Nathan's organization and others
This is interesting.
sued. That didn't stop chemical companies from trying for a 3rd approval. And to do that, they submit a document saying, hey, here's how we, the company, think our product can be safely and legally used. But even the pesticide companies' labels weren't good enough for the people at the American Soybean Association, who wanted to spray dicamba in the hot summer months and with less buffer zones for environmentally sensitive areas.
They represent corporate agriculture, plain and simple. That's who gives them their marching
It might
orders.
be, Sylvie.
In fact, a lot of mom and pop soybean farmers do not want dicamba.
And so they started lobbying.
Of course they did,
March
guys, because we don't live in a
ASA
democracy.
Director
It's
Kyle
a corporate
wrote to an EPA official asking for a
oligarchy.
meeting on dicamba. And less than 2 hours later, staffers at the EPA jumped into action to make sure a meeting could happen that week. We don't know exactly what was said in that meeting, but we do know this. 3 months later, on June 30th, Kyle Kunkler had a new job, Deputy Assistant Administrator for Pesticides at the EPA. A week later, on July 7th, Kyle Kunkler emailed his colleagues. He had a handful of questions around dicamba's proposed rules and asked them for a meeting about it. Not even a month after that,
what is
EPA
that about?
responded to dicamba makers
This is interesting, but what'd you say, Oxpecker? You said, have you heard about any anti-stockpiling laws? I haven't. Would you explain that to me, Ox?
Its own rules for you.
Please, for the folks that we were talking about the Soviet Union, please join our Discord. It's linked at the top of the chat on Twitch and in YouTube. Okay.
And it did something unprecedented.
Right, LaCroix. They're saying pesticides are bad. Something that kills other animals couldn't possibly be bad for us other animals. Of course not, LaCroix, right? Well, humans are different, LaCroix.
In line with the ASA, it offered rules that were less strict than even what the chemical companies themselves had asked for. Gone were some of the measures to stop dicamba's devastating drifts.
I have never seen this happen once with a pesticide approval.
But this dicamba story is just one small piece of how lobbyists infiltrated the chemical division at the EPA. Dicamba's health effects need more research. But lobbyists like Kunkler are now making decisions on pesticides that have credible links to cancer and other health issues. In just a few months in early 2025, the EPA had meetings with at least 50 industry associations and companies. Companies like Bayer,
Of course they did. Of course they did. By the way, guys, for those that do kind of like the history of the Soviet Union, you should please go to our Discord. There is a hobbies section of our Discord, and Macon, who's in here right now, has collected a ton of the pins from each of the republics of the Soviet Union, and it's really cool. Like I don't know, Macon, are you he, she, they? I can't remember. Regardless, Macon, go check out Macon's collection of the different Soviet Republic pins and try to guess which ones are not present. It's really cool.
Plus Corteva and Dow. The calendars revealed for every one meeting with health or environmental groups,
thank you, Macon.
they had
Okay.
25 with corporate interests. In May, Secretary Kennedy released his highly anticipated MAHA report. It cites chemical industry lobbying as a factor in America's chronic health problems.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
By September, a follow-up
Right, Jonas?
strategy report was absent any mention of chemical lobbying or restricting pesticide use. We were heard, said a prominent chemical industry lobbyist. And in November 2025, the EPA registered a new PFAS pesticide, the fifth by the agency in just a few months. PFAS, or forever chemicals, have been linked to everything from liver issues and high cholesterol to cancer.
The EPA has not taken one action, as far as I can see, to reduce our children's exposure to toxic pesticides. There's not been a single restriction and not a single ban on any of the pesticides, for instance, that have already been banned in other countries.
Of course not.
That shouldn't be surprising when you look at who's making decisions at the EPA.
So right now there's 4 former industry lobbyists.
Of course. So guys,
that
there's a
make
word for
every
this.
decision in the chemical.
Yeah, no, seriously, Sylvie, to prison now, all of them and the judge. This is called regulatory capture, where a ton of our regulatory industries are literally run by former people in the industry. I mean, like, because they are the elites. All right, they're elites that have been appointed by politicians to lead these agencies, and they have an established interest in not doing things that affect profits. You see what I mean? Hey, Jonas, the free market, right? I'm going to lose my mind. It's all corruption. It is all this elite owning class appointing people to these agencies that are part of the elite owning class. All right. Correct, LaCroix. There's a revolving door between these agencies and the industries they regulate 100%. Okay.
Office, including the pesticide office.
They include Nancy Beck and Linda Kleva, former lobbyist for the American Chemistry Council.
Interesting.
There,
Thank you for
Kleva
that,
fought the
Ox.
government's efforts to study formaldehyde's harms and downplayed research tying it to leukemia. Last year at the EPA, she worked to relax formaldehyde regulations with sign-off from Nancy Beck.
So it really all but guarantees that any decision coming out of this office is going to de-emphasize public health protections.
Of course.
It's a
Again,
far cry
guys,
from the-
this I know I'm doing my socialism rant today. This is why it's called capitalism, because the decisions that are made benefit capital, benefit the people who own businesses and want to make a profit. So, of course, all the decisions coming out of the EPA are beneficial to capital and are not beneficial to society, which is where the word socialism comes from. All right. You know, when you make a system based around profit and the people who own property, what do you expect to happen? All right. You see what I mean? Okay. It's not like this is what's going to happen.
Promises RFK and Donald Trump
A correct outer signal.
made to mothers like Zen.
We mothers saw a presidential candidate finally talking about pesticides and autism, childhood chronic illness, and said, holy cow, we're being heard.
Don't mess with America's moms.
I have to point out, a lot of people voted for Trump even though it went against their political standings in the past. They voted for him even though many people despised him, right? They despised his previous actions. And they did this because of his stance on pesticides and to make America healthy again. For the Republicans to not take on that mandate of their president and to go against that is really a massively missed opportunity.
Correct.
Despite
correct,
her frustrations,
Correct.
Zen told me she is still hopeful.
We hope they turn this around. We hope they see the wisdom in the Maha movement.
At the same time, so Lacroix, you're like, yes. So Lacroix says we can't expect them to make decisions that are best for us when the industry is so intertwined with regulators. We need laws that make sure they can't have interest in the industry that they are regulating and can't be employed by it when they leave their position. Correct. Now, Lacroix, I would add one extra thing to this. Even if you have people in there that are not linked to industry, their hands are partially tied by the fact that these are privately owned companies that have to survive economically. So that makes it harder to regulate them in a way that might hurt their profit, because you also have to worry about employment and the economy. And if you were to like tell, I don't know, one of these companies whose main if their main product is dangerous, it's going to be hard to regulate that, because you know it'll make their company fail and a bunch of people will be unemployed and it might cause an economic collapse. I mean, I'm kind of exaggerating, but that's the problem with private ownership of property, where you have people who privately own these things, because you're dependent on them also for economic survival for the average person. Now, I know that's I'm kind of oversimplifying here, but but it would definitely be a lot better if they were regulated by people that weren't in the industry, for sure. Okay.
That reducing toxic chemicals is essential to restoring our health.
On the other hand, one senior EPA official reportedly said, "I feel the Maha people are being played."
They're throwing Maha a few scraps on the floor and trying to hide the fact that they're feeding a gourmet meal to the chemical industry behind closed doors.
Some people call me, politically naive, but the reason why I always hold out hope is because I know that person sitting across from me, whether they're a chemical lobbyist or not, they have loved ones.
Her hope would be tested the
Jonas. No, it isn't, because
next day.
President Trump has issued an executive order to boost domestic production of glyphosate.
The order offered immunity to glyphosate manufacturers from lawsuits over potential health effects. Maha erupted. RFK made his career suing Monsanto over glyphosate.
My God, look, he's so young in this picture. What the hell happened here? Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, Lacroix. I'm just being a socialist there. Okay, yeah, you're right though. You're right. It is better. Companies should not harming people shouldn't hurt their profits so much that it runs them out of business. You're right, Lacroix. That is fair.
I believe that glyphosate
I'm just nitpicking, Lacroix.
causes cancer.
Now, he was defending Trump's executive order.
I'm telling people not to vote in the midterms.
This is basically the middle finger to Maha.
Even before the executive order, decisions around other pesticides were creating tension in the Maha movement.
Yeah.
We're seeing chat groups, then they're saying, well, I guess I'm a Democrat again. President Trump's mandate to make America healthy again, which includes pesticides. It's actually the primary focus of when Trump was on the presidential platform. There needs to be action around pesticides for the majority, I believe, of the Maha people to be excited about the Republicans maintaining power in the House going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Our moms are not beholden to a political party. We are going to vote for people who put health and safety first. Period. That's it.
I spoke to
Yeah,
several
Sylvie.
people like Zen reporting the story. I have to say, I don't agree with them on a lot, but I
Okay.
do agree with them on this. Lobbyists shouldn't be calling the shots on which chemicals are considered safe.
Set aside
I
for
guess
a
so,
second
Dolly Boy.
the silliness and the fringe views on vaccines and raw milk and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
Dolly Boy.
The core component of the Maha movement is really quite popular. And the problem is the Democrats lost them. At some point, the Maha movement is going to get wise to this, and they're going to realize that they're playing
Maybe.
for fools.
Maybe.
And when that happens, I hope
So this
that
is good.
some political party, some political candidates will step in and grow a backbone.
No,
and take
Asman,
on
I
the
haven't.
chemical industry, and actually be a
Okay, we're gonna stop it there. We get the idea here. Yeah, so guys, no, I know I didn't say much during that. This is like, of course, nothing is sacred anymore. Our food is dirty. Our politicians are dirty. Everything is dirty. Everything's going to hell. Right? We're destroying the environment. We're destroying the planet. We're destroying the world with our bombs. Now Israel and Iran are trading strikes on nuclear facilities. All of our food is toxified. We're letting homeless women die and freeze to death in public. We have no good treatment for mental health. No free. Very limited free health care. People are dying because they can't get access to health care. Come on. We're having a ton of gun violence every day. People are getting slaughtered in the streets every single day. And then we had a law that said you couldn't even research it as the government because everything's so goddamn corrupt. We have two parties that are basically one party, and that's the business party who run the country. One is fascist. The other one is corporatist. They don't do much of any goddamn thing. Trans people are, okay, you know what? Things aren't looking good. I'm just going to throw that out there. Happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday, everyone. You're all great. You're all great. You're all lovely. You're all lovely. One of the issues, guys, I do have with More Perfect Union is it can kind of be lived up in terms of focusing on electoralism and saying don't worry, we just need a party to go out there to that'll appeal to Maha. Well, which party's going to do that? Do you think the goddamn Democrats are going to do that? Because right now it certainly isn't looking like it. Okay, so maybe we need to actually take direct action to make things change because right now, all right. Let me see here what Asmid has to say. Oh, you're right, Outer Signal. Gavin Newsom will save the day. Now, Macon, I didn't say that, Macon. No, LaCroix. Macon, okay. I never said that, guys. I didn't say that. What do you mean? I didn't say that. Anyway, yes, but yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so this is the thing. This is the right grind car. Shh, right? I didn't say that, guys. Come on. I'm innocent. I would never say that, okay? I would never anyway. Okay, so here we have protein. So this is the new goddamn triangle. This is Outer Signal, right? Tucker Carlson would actually beat Newsom if the election was tomorrow, okay? So what the hell is this? I don't get it. So they say whole grain should be at the bottom probably. And then what? This is confusing. I'm so confused. This makes no sense to me. Wait, do we get this? They just flipped it? I don't get it. I literally don't get it. So it's just supposed to be that you're supposed to eat more of the shit on the top. There's no way. I'm sorry. There is no way that steak should be at the same level as broccoli, though, right? We know that, right? This meat shit should not be at the same level as the other stuff over here. This is very confusing. Maybe the salmon could be. I'm very confused. I don't get it. It's just bullshit, whatever it is. Okay, who cares? It's bullshit. God damn it. All right. All right. They just want to have gout, right? This is like some Peter Griffin shit, right? Okay, great. Love that for us. Oh my God. Yay. Oh, wow, guys. Wow. All right. Good news here. Love it. Okay, guys, I'm going to put my face up here. I don't know. Where is the open source food pyramid? I don't know. The hell if I know. All right, you guys. So, I guess so, Asmit. Technically, you should eat more steak than vegetables, I guess. Or you should eat the same amount of steak that you do vegetables. I really do. Or they even have ground beef up at the same level as, like, broccoli. Like, I don't think that's how that works in a health way, all right? Okay. I feel like there may have been some lobbying going on here. Okay, some lobbying going on to create this thing. Okay. Yeah, the Amazon will burn down so we can afford our beef, right? Jesus. Okay. There you go. LaQual, you're not wrong. This message is paid for by American ranchers. You're not wrong. Asmit, yes, USA. USA, right? Exactly. I just dropped my stick of authority. I'm gonna cry now. I don't want to have to reach down to get it, guys. Yeah, Jonas, I'm surprised they didn't put beer and sleeping tablets up there too, right? Don't forget about antidepressants, Jonas. Okay, and Tums and shit like that. I need to grab my stick, my jester stick. Oh, I'm too old. I don't want to lean over for this, guys. Oh God, don't make me do it. Okay, guys. So this is what we're gonna do. It's Saturday. As you guys know, I am going to be doing an After Dark stream due to the contributions we got. So, wellness farms for the depressed, right, Macon? Dear God. I'm going to be doing an After Dark stream because of the number of contributions we got, because I'm a filthy capitalist pig. That's not capitalism, by the way. I'm not exploiting anyone's labor. I don't think I am. Maybe I am. Fuck it, though. Whatever. Okay, I exploit people's labor if I want to. Okay, screw all of you. I'm joking. I'm not. I don't think I am. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? I need to survive. Fuck you. Okay. I don't know. Well, who am I yelling at? I don't even know. Moving on, guys. So this is what we're gonna do. At between 6:30 and 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be coming back on to do a Twitch only stream. Okay. We'll be doing a Twitch only stream. What do you mean react harder? Screw you, Oxpecker. Okay. Okay. Watch no, I will not, Asmit. Screw you. Actually, yes, I will, Asmit. We're gonna watch that later. Okay. You know, Dolly Boy, screw you. I'm mentally ill. Okay. React harder. Okay. I know, Oxpecker. I'm just yelling at everyone randomly. So, what time is that? Eastern non-state. LaCroix. Oh my God, LaCroix. Oh my God. Okay. No, it's not. It's standard time. I'm just angry and yelling at all of you. Okay, guys. So I will come back on between, yeah, that's right, Macon. You will go to Twitch tonight. You will go to Twitch tonight. Lurking Snow Leopard, don't laugh at me. So I will be on tonight, again, between 6:30 and 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. I will likely be consuming some apple cider, which is a code word for alcohol. And if you're lucky, you might even see me a little bit intoxicated. And we'll listen to music from around the world. No problem, Grindcar. You're the best, Grindcar, okay? You're the best, Grindcar. Thank you for that contribution. Come back on tonight. Watch me there. We will watch some of the Afroman shit. We will do other shit. Okay, it'll be so fun. We'll have a great time. All right, I love it. You know, maybe I'll be a little naked, Mr. King K. Maybe I'll be a little naked. Don't tempt me, Mr. King K. Ooh, don't tempt me. Okay, I'll probably be completely dressed. Let's be honest. I won't be naked. But anyway, so I'll be back on. Maybe I need to do a hot tub stream like some of those people on YouTube do or on Twitch do. You know, maybe just a little bit of skin, show a little skin. Okay, hot tub stream. Yay. When else does he take the thirst trap pics? I don't take thirst trap pics, even though I was accused of that. Oh, does Austin Show do that? Well, Austin Show. Okay, well, I mean, I guess he has a nice body, I guess. I guess you'd want to do that. I'm old. I'm decrepit. Okay, whatever. Moving on, guys. Okay, fuck you, Matsai guy. Okay, I love you all very much. Let me hand out some boops and then I'll go. I'm very hungry. I'm going to go eat. So, but let me hand out some boops. And I want you all to enjoy the rest of your Saturday, okay? Make sure you enjoy your Saturday. ignore the suffering in the world. I don't know, go to a mall or something, be an American. I'm joking. Don't do that. Just, whatever. Okay. Yeah, I'll outer signal. Oh my God. Outer signal says exploit us, daddy. Oh, outer signal. You know it. Okay. God. I know. I don't care. Don't go to a mall. Please don't go to a mall. All right. Who's funnier than I could ever be? You mean Austin? I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. Okay. All right. Okay. He has all that money and that. Okay. Anyway. So, all right. Everyone ready for this? Let me hand out some boops. LaQual, you get a boop. Boop. J-Mac gets a. I don't know. J-Mac's not here. Fuck it. Mr. King K gets a boop. Boop. Outer Signal gets a boop. Boop. Matt Saigai gets a boop. Boop. Asmit gets a boop. Boop. Mr. Macon gets a boop. Boop. Fetty Spaghetti gets a boop. Boop. Elevator Lady gets a boop. Boop. Who's gay and Lebanese? Austin show? I bet you do watch him, LaQual Bois, because you're a slut. And you like watching half-naked men in hot tubs. I'm sorry, I don't know you. Forgive me. I mean, sorry, LaQual. Dolly Boy gets a brump. Brump! Okay, just because Dolly Boy requested it. Okay, Sylvie gets a boop. Boop. Did I miss anyone that wants a boop before I go? Anyone want any last boops? Any last boops? Any last boops before I leave you all for dinner and then come back later? Okay, guys, thank you so much for everyone who contributed today. Really, thank you everyone who contributed. This might be the most I've ever gotten in a stream. I deeply appreciate you. It's helping me do this long term, seriously. I was actually consider recently looking for a part-time job just to supplement. So thank you. This helps me. This will make it so I not, Anyway, hopefully I'll be able to do this full-time for longer, okay? Yeah, thank you, Matt Saigai. Really, thank you. Ox, Ox, you get a boop. Boop. Oh, God, sorry. I don't know why I choked on that, Ox. Maybe the word Ox, I'm going to make you assume the joke I'm going to make. I'm going to make you assume what joke I was about to make about choking in your name. But anyway, we want our jester streamer. Thank you, Outer Signal. Thank you. Okay, everyone ready for this? I'm going to say bye-bye. First of all, free Palestine, guys. Free Palestine. Second of all, and Sudan and Ukraine and Iran and Venezuela and Green, every other country we're trying to conquer, which will probably be almost every one at this point. Free the planet from America. Let's phrase it that way. Free the whole goddamn planet from America. Second of all, never stop resisting. The easiest way to resist is to question authority figures and not blindly believe what you see on the internet. That includes when you watch me. I'm not perfect, guys. I make mistakes. See what other people are saying. Don't get caught in an information silo. Because the easiest way to resist is to not blindly listen to authority figures. I'm a human being. I'm like every other human being. I'm not better than anyone. Okay, I'm not better than any of you. I just happen to be on the other side of the screen and dressed like a jester, okay? Which gives me a lot of authority, I admit. And I'm very authoritative. I get that. Okay? Look at this outfit. Okay, also we're living in a fascist moment in this country. Fascism thrives in an environment where people have lost faith in their democratic institutions. We need major reforms. You cannot stand in the center. If you stand in the center, the fascists will walk all over you. Fight back. Don't let the fascists walk all over. Louise, you get a boop. Boop. Don't let the fascists walk all over you. Louise is a fascist. She interrupted my spiel about fascism. Okay. No, you didn't. I'm sorry, Louise. You're not a fascist. On the wall behind me is a sword. The name of that sword is Chainbreaker. Chainbreaker is thought to have been responsible for the death of 7 slave owners, and it's been passed down in my family for many years. Why do I have it back there? I have it back there to remind everyone that our ancestors made some major sacrifices for some of the things we have today, some of the rights we have, some of the freedoms, some of the labor struggles they did. We cannot let those sacrifices go to waste, folks. Please, please, please don't let them go to waste. As a historian, I'm begging you. I had to read about too many people dying for things for us to have to go through that shit again. Okay, thank you, Oxpecker. We'll do that. So never forget Chainbreaker and always fight for a better future. And for those that are on Twitch, I'm going to send you to someone recommended by Oxpecker because I deeply respect Oxpecker. Oxpecker always gives me good decisions. Thank you for reminding me. I almost forgot. So I'm going to send you all over to a different streamer. I think I'm rude though, guys. I'm like I never stay around after I send you. I'm always like, hi, it's me. And then I leave you all there. And I think that makes, so no one ever joins me. Anyway, let's go. Let's do this. So Gust X. No one does that? Okay, good. No one stays around. Good. Gust X broadcast. Let me just read them about them. I trust Oxpecker. Oh, really? Cool. Oh. History, political science, left. Oh, I support that. I support that. We'll send some shit to him. All right, so we go. But I'm the better one, right, Oxpecker? Tell me I'm better, Oxpecker, please. All right. Okay, make my head bigger, Oxpecker. Okay, so let's do this. This is raid. Raid. We went to raid. Raid. What's his name? It's Gus X paste. Okay, did that do it? Oh, nope, shit. Wait, I did it wrong. I did it wrong. Wait for it, guys. Wait for it. I did it wrong. I absolutely did it wrong. Raid. Okay. We're white. That's a slippery slope. What do you mean? Okay. How dare you? It's a slippery slope. How dare you? Okay. Gust. You're a boomer, LaCroix. I hate all of you. I hate all of you. Stop making fun of me. Broad. Just stay with me. Broadcast. Okay, here we go. Raid Gust X broadcast. Okay. I did it! Okay, everyone please join the raid on Gust X broadcast. All right. And I am better than him. I want to point that out. Okay, I'm not. I don't even know him. I'm sure he's a great guy. He looks like a great guy. He's equal. We're all equal, okay? We're all equal lefties in this community. I'm just a jealous bitch. Okay, everyone ready? So, everyone ready? I will see you all later. Remember, it's between 6:30 and 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll come live again. Bye-bye, guys. All right. For everyone else who's still around, I love you all very much. Okay? Love you all very much. You all have a lovely rest of your evening, and then I will see you later for those that come back, okay? All right, guys. Bye-bye. 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 All right.